Peace. Good evening, my friends. It is time for Minds of Men. We're going to be going live from my page tonight instead of from Wayne's or Black Vegan Man, whoever you know him as. But we're going to give everybody time to go and jump in the room. As you do, you know how we rock. Drop some sevens if you're feeling fantastic. Drop some threes if you need some upliftment. There goes Black Vegan Man in the building. That's interesting.
What it is, Coach?
What it do?
I need some sevens and some eights and some threes and a pair of sixes. Today was such.
You seeing none of that? Man, I can hear you. I don't see you. Hopefully, this thing ain't acting up all crazy.
Well, I can see you, so
All right.
we're good on that.
Oh well, it don't really matter.
Yeah,
I know what
yeah,
you look like anyhow.
yeah. Still ugly. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed, bro. But outside of that, before we even get to anything, man, how's everything on your end?
We'll just say it's a day. We'll leave it at that.
It's a day. It's a day. Mercury got Gatorade in the microwave, and it's a full moon, and you but we continue to progress, bro. We
There you
continue to
go.
progress.
There you go. Where's Brother Lloyd at? Where's Brother Lloyd?
He'll be in there. He'll be in here soon, I'm sure, because he's the one who sent in the information. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, so he'll be
but
in there.
how's everything on your side, my friend?
Yeah, man. I had a field trip for my daughter today, so that was pretty nice. Um, and just was able to tune in and just be around the kids. And that's something I'm gonna talk about, because Coach he just got on here, so I'll wait till he gets on here so I can speak on that. Ooh, I got a new leaf. I'm looking at plants.
That's all right. Yeah, I had a bunch of new leaves come in this week, so I'm pretty. That's one thing I can say I'm proud of.
Yeah.
All right, at least I can see one of you jokers today.
You can see me, or you can't see him.
No, I
He
can
can
see
see
you.
you.
But
You ain't
what's
missing
good?
out on that.
We leaving it there. We leaving it where it is.
We missing out on. Well, yeah, you ain't missing out on nothing. Hold on. I'm cooking.
My man he went and got a good light today.
You say what?
I'm just sitting in the area that I designed. So when I moved into my new house, I designed this area to be where I record it.
Look like a
And
coaching
so
session. He got a counseling session over there. I ain't mad at that. I am.
yeah, so this is where all of the studio lights are anyhow.
Yeah, so I'm a pop in and out only because I'm cooking, and I want to burn nothing on live. But one thing I do want to start off with, first of all, everybody who's on the live, all up in here, we appreciate y'all. If this is your first time, just put a number one. If this is not your first time being on the live with us on a Tuesday, just drop a number two real quick. I didn't mean that like that, but
Yeah, but do
Lord,
something.
you know, myself, Coach Lloyd, Coach Rob, all health and wellness professionals, in our own lanes, and we just want to be able to um, give y'all any knowledge that we can, any advice that we can,
Peace.
and
Okay.
peace
Beat
and
your
head
ones.
grease. Yeah, so I mean, the main thing is you can pay for a counsel. You can pay for a consultation, but not only we giving this opportunity for you to ask questions free, but you have three different mindsets, on the same subject. But I'll start off by saying, like with my daughter's field trip today. Now, mind you, this isn't the first field trip, and I'm around other parents, and I'm a chaperone or whatever the case is. And one of the things that I looked at was some of the parents, tired as hell running behind these kids.
Oh yeah.
And if that's not one of the factors to say, man, I really need to do something about this. But if you're in a position where you can't keep up with the kids, I know they be running around and all the other stuff, but it's parents with y'all got to take care of yourselves because these kids, they're growing up and they're doing their own things. And as much as they love us, they gonna get rid of our asses first chance they get when they get teenagers. Because my son think I'm lame as hell right now, but I say that to say, let that be one of the deciding factors of, do you want to rely on your kids taking care of you, in the next few years, or are you going to do something about that for yourself? My kids, ooh, if I'm relying on them,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
that's
know.
that's a huge point. But when you really think about it, I don't know how you all parents was, but I didn't have active parents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
were overworked, overweight. So
Mm.
it's a generational thing that has become all too common,
Yeah.
where people are not able to be active with their little ones, and then they get frustrated with the little ones when the little ones want to play, when all they want is some attention time from mommy
Mm.
and dad.
Mm.
So, what's one of the things I talk about in order to be a good parent, in order to be a good spouse, in order to be a good anything, your health has to match what you want to do.
Yep.
I'm still here, but you're
I
right.
mean, I had my mom was active. You know, what you eating over there?
I finally did some meal prep.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah,
Finally
as part
taking
of
your
meal
own
prep on
advice.
Sunday, I got some lentil stew and quinoa.
Quinoa. My partner used to say quinoa when he first learned what quinoa was. You know, black people
Yo,
don't know how to pronounce stuff right when they when they first learn it. Yeah, that quinoa real good. He
that's
probably
like
in here.
that's like you and immediate or what'd you say?
I don't know what
How'd
I
you
said.
pronounce intermittent fasting last week?
Intermediate.
Yeah, intermediate.
You got to do it. It's beginner level. It's intermediate and level. You know what? Nobody asked you though. We wasn't even talking about that. We were not talking about that at all.
um, Before we really get started, Wayne, is your phone charged?
Yes, it is, sir. Matter of fact, it's on the charger.
But
We
we running
learning.
a we running the live from my phone, so we good. He said he popping in and out.
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
just mind you, Coach Rob got an Android, so we want to get on that. But yeah,
What's wrong with
we're on.
that? I got
Oh
one.
yeah, both of y'all got green. Well, no, matter.
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
you know what? Never mind. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I ain't even
yeah,
gonna say nothing.
exactly. Keep it to yourself.
Damn Android phones, y'all. When your phone drop, the battery fall out, and you still got Snake 2 on. You know what I'm talking about.
See, but at least our company, we're not throttled every time they getting ready to drop a new phone. Now, all of a sudden, my phone stopped working as good as it
Ladies
used to.
and gentlemen, if we're gonna stay on task here,
Notice he changed the subject real quick.
if you have any questions, comments, or concerns in regards to health and wellness, please let us know in the comment section. You can either do that from here or in the little box that Coach
Yeah,
has right up in
drop them
there.
in the question box if you want to remain anonymous.
Yeah.
If you okay with everybody knowing who asked the question, drop it in the comment section. Now,
Okay.
mind you all, this is a conversation. So as me, Wayne, and Lloyd are speaking amongst ourselves and talking with you, feel comfortable talking with each other in the comment section. That's what it's there for.
That's what it's made for. Yeah.
I
So
got
this is an open conversation. So let's since nobody has anything, let's take a poll. Who in the audience right now that's listening to these words is in a position where they're not able to be as active with their little ones as they would like to be?
That's a good thing. Yeah. Great. Yeah, so if you find yourself getting winded trying to get to the kids, and like somebody said about their endurance, if you don't wait, endurance in what aspect?
Listen, see, I knew you was gonna go there.
I'm just
They
saying.
probably meant. They
They mean
probably meant.
overall endurance, just being able to have the energy to make it through the day
Okay.
Yeah.
is what I'm thinking. However, we'll ask for clarity, please. When you're asking your questions, do your best to be as specific as possible.
This comes with
Otherwise,
its
we will
challenge.
ask you qualifying questions so that we can give you the best answer possible.
We
Because when you ask a very generic question, you're going to get a super generic answer, and we want these to be as tailored as we can be with the limited amount of knowledge that we have. Of course, this isn't a full blown consultation where we dive in deep. However, we want to still be able to address it the best.
Who ain't who?
Endurance
Never
for
mind.
working out.
who ain't
Okay.
diving deep.
And endurance for working out. All right. So when you say endurance for working out, are we talking about
We'll just
energy system development? Are we talking about as in cardio? Or are we talking about weightlifting? And then
we'll just start general and just say
Please.
endurance as far as cardio.
really just progressive. I posted about it today. 5 tips. would be have a clear and precise plan. Well, I'll go forward. Have a clear and precise plan, consistency, progressive overload, rest and recovery. So if you
Okay.
address those four in a matter, and especially the third one with progressive overload, that's where you're going to really build that endurance. So what progressive overload is let's say you start running a quarter of a mile at a time. So for example, you're running one lap, like you run one lap. As you continue, you try to work your way up to a lap and a half, 2 laps, 2.5 laps, three laps. Now you got a mile after that on that fourth lap. That's progressive overload.
Yeah. And then what was the first piece of advice you said?
Have a
Have a
plan.
clear and exact plan.
Okay. Now, could you give an example of like what a clear and exact plan is?
So you want to run a mile in under, like yours. You want to run a mile in under 8 minutes, but we want to do it in a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And the reason I asked you to do that because I wanted to emphasize the fact that better endurance means something entirely different for everybody. You know,
right.
Exactly.
and what your goals are, and when you specify what those goals are, you actually give something that's tangible. To where it's just like if you come to a coach or a personal trainer and say, "Hey, I want to increase my endurance," then first thing, of course, when you get all the stuff out of the way, that there's an endurance test. Where are you at now? And then where are you trying to get to? That way, 6 weeks, 8 weeks down the line, we see the progress. You know,
We
in
have
which
to,
so that's the main thing. You got to have that goal.
yeah,
And I need more sleep.
I would add a fifth thing to that too, and that's just tracking, especially if you're looking to increase something. You have to track it. So the first step would be find out where you are, and then with each week that you add progressive overload, track what you're doing because he gave you one example of progressive overload of adding more length, where you could also add the quickness. So you're trying to do that same quarter of a mile. Instead of say it takes you 10 minutes to do the quarter of a mile, try to get that quarter of a mile down. I'm
I know.
trying to get that quarter of a mile down to 5 minutes. And now when you got it down to 5 minutes, that's when I would add the next quarter of a mile. So it's really up to the individual and what they're looking to go for. So progressive overload can be done a couple of different ways, but it's the essential way of saying it is each week it gets a little bit harder.
Yeah, it does.
Stay on topic, Wayne.
Okay.
Okay.
Aside from that,
Someone said hit training. I don't know if that was the same person that asked the
It
question or not.
was, so let's talk about hit training for the first and foremost. Most
Mm,
of what people are doing is not actual hit training. So oftentimes we hear a word and then it becomes the standard or it gets overused. So HIT stands for high intensity interval training. What most people are doing and calling it HIT training is high intensity circuit training. What's the difference between the two, coach? I'm very specific with words, so this matters to me. High intensity interval training was designed for a specific type of athlete to help them get better at one thing. So let's say you're bike riding. High intensity interval training means you're going to start that ride off at about 30%, 50%. Then you're going to bump it up for an interval to 90%. Then you're going to bump it back down to about 30, and then bounce back and forth at varying percentage levels doing the exact same exercise. That's high intensity interval because you're doing the same exercises at varying intensities. Now, the minute you add a second, third, fourth, fifth, however many exercises into it, you are now doing high intensity circuit training, which is perfectly fine and normal. And it is a great way to increase your cardio or to add cardio and strength training together. Because with high intensity circuit training, you're doing one exercise, as many reps as you can get within a limited amount, within a time frame, taking a time frame break, and then moving on. This is also called Tabata. But
Tabata,
Tabata
that's
is,
bread. We've
but
been through this already.
no, that's Tabata you talking about. Tabata, but Tabata is actually doing exercises for a very specific length of time. with a very specific rest time. Circuit training, something different. So, to answer your question, it's a great form of working out when you are short on time and when you know how to incorporate it into a strength training regimen based on your goals.
The other part to that too is a lot of people aren't even doing that circuit or that one exercise hard enough to classify it as high intensity. So they basically think that just because their heart rate is faster than their resting heart rate, doing a couple bodyweight squats here and there, they got their heart rate up. And then they rest for a little bit, and then they do it again. They do something else. But that's not really high intensity. High intensity is on an RPE scale, 7.5 or above.
And realistically, if you're doing the circuit training, you, especially since that time frame is going to be about 30 seconds, you're going for 10 to 15 within that 30 seconds. It's really what you're shooting for. And each time you do a circuit, you try to do more. So another great question from Simply Holistic said, which is better for healthy weight loss, low impact cardio or running? Running can be low impact cardio for some people. So the best way for healthy weight loss, in my opinion, when it comes to the exercise portion of things, is have a very good balance of strength resistance training, whether it be with weights, body weight, TRX, resistance bands, the machines, cables, whatever, and cardio. My split for clients is 3 days of resistance, 2 days of cardio, because cardio is there to just help you stay in cardiovascular shape, whereas the strength training is actually going to burn more calories because it builds muscle.
And then also with that, like, what level are your knees at? Do we got Meg the Stallion knees right now? I mean, I say that jokingly, but in all honesty, a lot of people incorporate running into their exercises. For one, do you have the right shoes? And simple as that would change the impact of your workout, because if certain things are already hurting you, people easily get shin splits and different things like that. You got to pay attention to, the shoes that you wear. And then even with that subject, for my runners, like, you got to change your shoes out like you change your tires, probably more frequently depending on how much you run. Because we'll wear the same shoes. People got shoes in their closet they didn't have for about 5 years, and the cushion coach gonna look the other way.
The cushion don't
But changing
worn
out
out.
changing out those shoes definitely help with the impact, because the older we get, we want to make sure we're paying attention to our knees, our shins, and we're just taking better care of our body. But if you're wearing the same, this is your intervention. Go buy you some new goddamn running shoes.
And those Air Max 270s, please stop running in those.
Man, Converse, all that. Get you. I don't. First of all, Snoop Dogg made a damn commercial for Skechers, which I didn't appreciate, because why are we here?
That
But
was hilarious.
that was horrible. But make sure that you're actually getting comfortable shoes, not the ones that look nice, but something that's actually comfortable. And then
Most good
further,
running shoes look ugly.
yeah, them Hokas hit. I'm like, I don't even know who. They're just horrible shoes, but horrible looking shoes, but amazing when you put your feet in them, because them Nikes ain't okay. So, can you do
Some
cardio?
Nikes.
Can
Some
you
Nikes.
some Nikes? Can you do cardio after strength training incline 15, and how long?
Depends on your goal. That is a very dependent thing. So you can do strength training and cardio in the same workout session if you have enough time. Most
Incline.
people don't have enough time to do a strength training and a cardio session in the same day. Because now you're talking about an hour to an hour and a half in the gym. And that's, to me, is just a long time for a full grown adult with responsibility to be at the gym.
How long?
When,
How long should someone work out in a day?
in my opinion, it depends on their time frame, but 30 minutes to an hour. Enough
Okay.
time to get your body warmed up, get you a good session in, get a cool down, and get back to it.
So also, simply holistic. If you have knee aches and plantar fasciitis, you need to go to a store that specializes in running and selling running shoes and get either a special shoe or a special insole, so that you don't have those knee issues. Because a lot of time when you have plantar fasciitis and knee issues, you're going to develop gait problems. And what I mean by gait, that's your walking and running pattern.
Yeah, because you're trying to minimize the pain you feel.
Right.
So anybody that's having knee issues, this is I am not affiliated with him in any way. Anybody having knee issues, go follow Knee Over Toes guy. His stuff is science based. It works. I've used it on myself. I've used it on clients, and it is, for all pun intended, it's the bee's knee.
The bee's knees. You went there, didn't you? Okay. All right. I
Yeah.
see what you did. I
Someone,
see what you did.
M. Campbell Craig said, should you choose upper and lower different days? You want me to take it?
You can take it.
Depends on. Nope.
All
So
right.
you take it, and then I'll follow up
And I'll
because
follow
my
up.
answer is it depends.
Yes, it does depend. If you, to me, and this is just any sort of working out, any sort of training split, if you are not, to me, in my opinion, if you are not competing in a bodybuilding or powerlifting cycle, full body extras, full body workouts are going to maximize your time. Full body workouts are going to maximize your time. Spending time on just back more than any other body doesn't make you shred your back more. The body doesn't work like that. The body loses fat, especially in a fat loss state. If you're trying to lose fat, just full body workouts with a certain level of intensity, 150 minutes a week minimum. If you don't know what that is, that's 2.5 hours a week. Full body every workout. Yes, you can do a full body workout every workout.
So for people that are starting back off on their journey, before we get into the true body recomposition side of things, where we're targeting specific muscles, everybody does a full body workout 3 times a day. I mean, 3 times a week. And each of those workouts is slightly varied to hit different body parts. Again, because we're talking about people I'm talking about people who are getting back into working out or who don't really know how to do it completely. And using full body gives your body the time to also rest and recuperate by shifting where the soreness is going to be. So on Monday, if you're doing back and buys for the back of, I know I touched my chest, back and buys, then on Wednesday, you're probably going to be doing chest and triceps.
Which is what I wanted to bring up within that conversation. You can do full body, great, but it really depends on how often you're going to be resting. Like you can do full body every day that you work out, but you can't do full body every day. So if you
Clarify that again, Wayne, because you just said the same thing. So when you say you can do full body every day, you can do it every workout, but you can't do it every day. So meaning I cannot work out every
no
day, or I should have
you
rest days in between my workouts.
you should have so you can only break the body down in the gym. You can't recover and repair the body in the gym, or build the body in the gym is what I say. So you can't build your body in the gym. You're only breaking it down. So the only way you can build your body is through rest. So doing those full body workouts every day, 6 days a week, whatever, or 5 days a week, or whatever the case is, and you're doing all of that, you don't give your body enough time to rest if you're doing full body. And then, Coach, because you want to add
To
something in that.
that's also depending on the intensity of those exercises. So because I'm sure people that are watching and you guys have heard, can I do abs every day? Yes, you can do abs every day of the week.
Yeah.
You hear people say do 50 push-ups a day, do 100 push-ups a day. Well, isn't that training every day? Yes, but it's at a certain intensity level that you can or cannot train every day.
Yeah. Yeah. And then even with abs specifically, you have upper, middle, lower abs, and you also have your obliques. So yeah, you can definitely do abs because abs has so many different muscle groups, all throughout the week, all day, every day.
And I hate the word abs. Call it core.
Core, yeah, that works too. That works too. And then things like push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, dips. These are, calisthenic workouts where you're less prone to injury. These are body weight workouts. And I
Unless
know
you're doing
coach,
sit-ups still.
what'd you
That's
say?
the, that's the only thing I got to argue with, that if people are still doing sit-ups in this day and age, just stop. You can do this. There are so many other, there are better core movements that you can do that don't put your lower back at risk and target your core better.
There is a better way to do a sit-up to where you don't have that issue. But people don't focus on that. So, and I'll try to give the example, but you're laying down and this right here, this is where it hurts your neck. So breathing and abs or core exercises are really about breath and contracting muscles. So when I'm doing my sit-ups, or just like, I don't want to call it a sit-up, I'll call it a crunch. People are doing crunches like this. So instead of doing that, what I'll do is I'll take a deep inhale and I'm breathing out up instead of down towards the front of myself. So it's ways to do things to where you're less prone to injury on sit-ups. My favorite ab workout to do is a reverse sit-up. I love
Yeah.
reverse sit-ups. And right when you get all froggy with your reverse sit-up, you get you a 10-pound weight, a 25-pound weight, and you just switch it up with that. And if you don't know what a reverse sit-up is, just look it up. I can't demonstrate now, but yeah. So throwing that one out.
All right, since you threw yours out, my favorite core exercise is a plate hold sit up, where when you come up, plate
Yeah.
hold. So when you
The plate,
come up, it forces the what?
I call it the plate push.
Yeah. So you're on your back. You got this plate here, and as you go up, you finish with your hands up here. You don't even need a plate to do it. You can just use your arms.
Mhm.
You back, and what that does is that forces your body to stay up. And as you sit up, you have to use your core to pull your body up. You have to use these muscles to pull your body up. You can't cheat it and throw yourself up. And you're also not putting your hands here and doing this. This is what Wayne was talking about. You're not putting your hands in your neck like this. You're not cheating a crunch. You can do that in a crunch. You just hold your arms up and get a good core contraction right there. So
Yeah, so since everybody's giving their favorite, I'd say my favorite is either going to be the hanging leg raise or doing the same movement laying down. So I guess what you call the reverse crunch, and then adding a resistance band to it, because it's going to hit all of the muscles in your lower abs and your lower core, but also hit your hip flexors, which are also typically weak on most people. And when you hit those hip flexors, it draws in more of your core.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy enough, and first of all, abs or core is of course your diet. You got to switch things up. We had a
Well,
conversation before.
that's if you want them. That's if you want to see abs, because you can have a strong core and still eat like crap.
Yeah. Yeah. You can. So if you actually want to see it, what you got, coach?
that's me.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
the slow hand raise.
That's me.
Yeah. But going along with that, like to gain a strong core, you really don't. If you spent $30 at TJ Maxx or Marshalls, which I don't know who spends $30 at TJ Maxx because they be having me in a chokehold. But that's aside from the point. Get an ab roller, which is like $10. You get you an ab roller, and then what Coach was talking about with the hanging leg lifts. If you get the ones with the sleeves, because a lot of people don't have that upper body strength, you can just put your arms in those sleeves that they sell, which are like $15, and you can be able to do those leg raises. Um, 2 weeks of that, 3 weeks of that, you'll be a lot better than where you started.
I will give a prerequisite for any sort of hanging leg raise, hanging exercises. If you have shoulder issues, don't do it.
Yeah, leave that alone.
Yeah, don't be
And
hanging with shoulder issues, because then your
that's where
shoulder
you
pop
get.
out of the socket. You make an injury worse, and then you gonna come to us and be like, "Y'all told me to do that." And even if you have it, the ones where you're in the captain's chair, quote unquote, the captain's chair, and you're holding on to the handles, that still puts that shoulder
At
in a
risk.
compromised position.
And that's where doing them laying down on your back, doing the reverse leg
The
pushes and
reverse crunches.
pulls,
Yeah.
the reverse punches is going to be handy, because you can load those up whether you're at the gym using the cable machine, or if you're at home with some resistance bands.
Yep.
So that's why I like body weight exercises so much, is because you can make regressions of any movement based off of where your activity level is or range of motion. That's another reason why I like bent knees over toes guy, because he will give you regression after regression after regression to meet you where you are. And for those who don't know what a regression is, we talked about progression before, getting harder. Regression is making it easier.
Which, in your opinion, is more effective, using plates standing up or sitting down?
I'm not sure what that meant.
Yeah, I saw that. And so clarity.
I think he was talking about your exercise, coach. Your with the plate, which I don't know, how would you be standing up with that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why we need clarity, because if he was talking about that, you can only do that exercise
Lame.
in my opinion, on a decline. Like I see you can do it on a regular ground, but that particular motion is better if you're on a decline bench, in my opinion.
So a lot of people don't have the range of motion in their core to start with a decline. So I would start on the floor or start on the bench, and all you're doing, you're starting with your hands straight out. So if I was standing, my hands would be straight out.
Yeah.
All I'm doing now is I'm laid back on the ground with my hands straight up in the air, just perpendicular from my body. And as I go up, my hands come here,
above your head,
above my head.
Yeah. So because I think that's what he was asking about, because he said raising the plates overhead. So yeah, so that's the core movement that starts off with you laying on the ground.
Yeah.
Or bench.
Again, that's another one where if you have shoulder issues, be careful on that.
So with that, and if we can touch on that subject, I'd like to, in regards to personal physical therapy, because if you really have issues and you don't know what the hell you're doing, then you definitely need to see a physical therapist. But what should people do? Like, I know a lot of people just walk around with injuries, and this shoulder's been messed up for 2 years. This knee been acting up, and every time it rain, all of a sudden, I know when it's about to rain because my knee start about. What should someone do in that situation where, hey, I have this injury? What do they do?
They need to go see a specialist on that exact injury to see the parameters that they need to stay in.
Yeah. Which is
go ahead.
I was gonna say after seeing a specialist, I was gonna say see a specialist, but after that, start to do movements within your range of motion and progressively push your limits in that range of motion. So since we're talking about shoulders, get you one of these doohickeys. Go to Home Depot.
Did he call it a doohickey?
Yeah. I did call it a doohickey.
He called it a doohickey.
Oh my God.
I'm country, man. Leave me alone. Go ahead and get you go to Home Depot, get you a dowel rod. And this alone is going to allow you to go through various ranges of motion. You're going to find your sticking points. You're going to find different things. And with it, you can use it to articulate. So let's just say you have external. It's hard for you to rotate external
right now.
No. Then you just slightly go a little bit. All right, you reach your sticking point, hold it, breathe. Next time, go a little bit further and a little bit further. All right, I ain't gonna go no further because I ain't trying to pop nothing. So that would be my answer: is progressive overload after you know what you're doing.
And to that point, I love the dowel, like a dowel rod, for any sort of upper body range of motion issues. If you don't want to go to Target, TJ Maxx, wherever he said, and find you a doohickey, just use a broomstick.
Yeah, this is Home Depot. This is just a good old dowel rod. Oh, yeah. Everybody got a broomstick.
You can use a broomstick.
Get you
take the end of. You can take the end off a mop, take the end of the broom off, and just use one of those. Yeah. That way you don't have to walk into Home Depot and be like, "Yo, where y'all doohickeys at?"
Yeah, and the main reason I brought that up, getting doohickeys and whatnot, is because we walk around with these injuries, and these injuries are not going to go anywhere unless we do something about them. The first step is, yes, go see a specialist. Go see someone who can at least, look, y'all ain't got no damn insurance, but y'all got Netflix. Make it make sense. But what I'm saying is, find someone who can actually do the right scans or get the right measurements and try to figure out what's actually going on with these injuries. And then from there, you can maybe start physical therapy for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever the case is, and then learn those exercises, and then just make sure that you're following up and doing those at home. There's a there's a massage therapist that I went to through the VA when I first got out here for my shoulder, and had I not worked that out, then I'd still have that injury, but and I mean the injury was for 6 months, 7 months, and it was just still there. It was sticky, if you will. But you have to do something about those injuries. They're not going to go anywhere.
And a
You
lot
know,
of times too, those physical therapists will give you homework, stuff to do at home that you that everybody has in their house, apartment, wherever they live, that can help them, or they'll be like, hey, this is something inexpensive you can go buy and do this at home.
And I can already
So
tell you what they're going to send you home with or tell you to go buy most of the times. It's the light resistance bands that don't come in a loop. That was my very first time ever getting resistance band. I was in high school after I hurt my shoulder. The doctor pulled it out, cut a piece of it off, and said, "Take this home and do these and some of these and some of those." So those little resistance bands that most women wear around their legs, cut one of those in half, and you'll have the stretch that you need. As long as it's the full rubbery ones, not the
not the
fabric
problem.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
so
know that they're different.
so as we're going through these, people aren't asking questions. So I'm gonna ask a question for the men in the room. I'm gonna make it a little and then, you know what? This is just a question I've been thinking about amongst men, and I felt like I'd share it through the live. Is a man able to? And we're shifting gears here, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully y'all don't mind. But is a man able to chase his dreams and aspirations and chase a woman at the same time?
Depends on the woman.
So when you say chase his dreams and chase a woman, no. Can a man chase his dreams and be in a relationship?
Of course.
Yes. Can a man chase his dreams and be in the vetting stage to get to a relationship? Yes. But chasing women, no.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree.
Okay. Are you saying women or woman?
I said woman, but if we want to have that conversation, we can say women, and we we can throw that
So
out there now, just so
so
everybody
I
knows.
also for me, whether it's women or woman, to me the term chasing means that you're doing a lot of back and forth, a lot of the work. For me, vetting is not that. It's, hey, there's clear communication. There's times I'm on my grind, so I'm not having to play this. Who let me be available whenever you feel like you need me to.
Yeah.
So that
And
so
and
like
that's what I'm
words
saying.
matter.
Where it depends on the woman. If she playing games, I ain't even got to be chasing her. No, I'm not chasing you.
See, but that's what I'm
So,
saying. So like the verbiage matters because I'm not chasing anything
yeah.
anymore at this stage. It's if I see you, I'm gonna make it known, and then we're going to go through the vetting process, and then it's either gonna be that or not.
What I will say on that for the men who are watching this, like Coach Lloyd asked the question, like, can a man chase women and chase dreams and aspirations? Hell no. You know,
Women, no.
no. So, and that's really one of the main things. A lot of people are trying to be, a lot of men, we are trying to be great. Some of us, anyways, and trying to get a lot of things done. And those certain temptations aren't going to, they're going to get in the way. You know, how was this woman, Wayne? Who is this? I don't know what she meant, but
I
that's
bet you
the
meant how old is this woman?
oh. That don't even matter. It's some old ass childish. Hattie Mae, she childish just like Shanika
Yo, why
Exum.
did you get so mad?
So
Gee,
it got personal. His cougar must not be treating
that
him right this week.
hey,
I still ain't got
hey,
no
that
PlayStation.
hit that man's
I
soul.
still ain't got no damn PlayStation. Talk about how it doesn't it really doesn't matter. But yeah, like you said, Coach, if you're actually talking to a specific woman and she knows, hey, look, this man is busy, he's trying to get things done or whatever the case is, then yeah, you can do that. You can pursue a relationship, be in a relationship while chasing your goals. And if she's really nice with it, she's helping you with those goals. And then someone asked me, they were like, well, it sounds like you need an assistant. I'm like, yes, I need an assistant because I'm going to be assisting
If
her.
if if she
Hold
down
on,
if
so
she
hold
down
on.
for the
So
cause,
let's pause
she
right
don't
there.
mind being your assistant player.
Yeah.
Let,
If
let's
she
pause
down for
right
it, she
there.
don't mind being the assistant.
Let's pause right there. Any woman coming, and this is my opinion. You guys, if you agree with me, agree. If you don't, don't. any woman coming into my life needs to be my assistant. Otherwise, why do I need you? Like my life is running perfectly fine. The whole reason of bringing a partner on is to help lighten your load.
Yeah.
Just like I'm going to be lightening her load.
Yeah. Yeah. And the main thing is it's not necessarily all work, because it's wanting to have a partner to enjoy this life experience with. That's the main thing. Within this experience are the things that we aspire to, get done and take on. It's not saying that you about to come in and work a 9 to 5 with me. It's just that, hey, look, I got, XYZ to get done. Like, did you see anything I needed to fix? Or like, because I feel like for myself, a woman for me would be a little bit more detailed. I'm not a detail oriented person when it comes to certain things. So, the woman that I would be with would, she sees things that I don't, and vice versa, but reciprocating that energy is one of the main things. But yeah, like she was saying, otherwise, what's the point? Like, what are we doing here? You
Right.
want me to just,
Really?
yeah,
That
yeah,
part.
You don't bring stress
yeah,
to me. Take
yeah.
some away from me.
Take some of it away from me. You can be a little crazy, a little chaotic,
See, you
but just
Having the
don't
right
leave it
partner
there.
stop
will
that,
bring out
man.
so
You got
much
to stop
peace.
that.
You're right. So, sister said that having the right partner will bring out so much peace. Oops, helpmate. Yes, having a helpmate. That is the whole point of us coming together outside of procreation and bringing on forth the next generation is to complete each other.
Yeah.
That's part of the, like you brought it up. I think it was last week or the week before, and we talked about the divide between men and women. Why is it there?
Mm-hmm.
It's because we've both forgotten our roles, and not to get into the whole patriarchal of you got to be in the kitchen cooking, cleaning. No. We each have roles.
Mm-hmm.
There's masculine roles and there's feminine roles. Can men do feminine roles? Absolutely, and vice versa. However, there's a majority of things that need to stay in balance in order for everybody to remember, and this is going to sound crazy, the hierarchy of things. And in my opinion, this is not a hierarchy of someone is lower, but it is in who's the design of things. It's God, man, woman, child. If man is following God, a woman is following the man, the child can follow the woman because because God has set the table for man has set the table for his family, the woman is setting the table for the children.
What did they, and they be saying what you bring to the table. I'm like, what? I don't even have a table. I got a bar. I got like the counter space, but
Dog, you stress me out. So
I think when it
God,
comes
God.
when it comes to roles, the main thing is they look different for everybody. For
It just
every
got to be
relationship.
a conversation you have up front.
It's that's really the main thing. Like a lot of people say, that I don't know how they did that in that relationship, or in relationships this is how XYZ should be. The issue with that is maybe
It's
that
not your
dude,
goddamn relationship. It's
that's the main
not
thing.
your fucking relationship. So why are you worried about it?
That's the main thing. It's like what works for you will work for you. And the issue is men and women are having conversations with other men and women and saying, hey, well, this is going on in my relationship. And the first response is, well, I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take that. And it's just like, well, you're not taking nothing because you're single. You on the couch, and what's going to end up happening is 3 months later, 4 months later, both of y'all gonna be sitting on the couch talking about I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take that. And it's just like we have to compromise. We have to communicate better, and we really have to check our egos at the door. Like, your partner is not in competition with you or shouldn't be in competition with you. You know,
Shit, I'm
um,
always winning.
yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. I'm a win, so you gonna win. If you with me, and if I'm losing, I'm still gonna try to make sure you win it. Like
Dog,
it's
why?
having those conversations.
I don't mean to cut you off, but when you said, why you sound like Barack Obama when you said that?
Well,
Uh,
ladies,
Uh, all they needed
uh,
was a hand like this.
real quick. Somebody said, I think you can chase your dreams and a woman as long as
uh,
she's trying to help you pursue your goals. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I
So yeah,
it,
so that whole
all
chase
right.
part
I I
it
got
just comes down to the definition of what chase means. Because to me, when I think chase, I think my younger years where it was running around trying to be any and everything for everybody.
No purpose.
Versus,
a question, and I want to hear from the ladies in the comments. Ladies, will you shoot your shot at a guy? Not at one of us. Would you shoot your shot? Yeah.
Shoot your shot. Can you see us, Coach Rob?
I can see the boy.
Oh, okay, good.
Because he down here doing this.
Shoot your shot at Coach. Shoot your shot at him.
Would
Don't shoot, 'cause
are y'all scared to shoot your shot?
and or do you feel like you shouldn't shoot your shot? A man should chase you.
God damn.
That's. Let me go check on my food real quick.
You know, Steve Mixay practice on him. Time
That's
waits
my
for no
roommate.
man.
That's my
Oh,
roommate.
well, all right, ladies. If you are scared, we got somebody who's willing to be your practice. I
No.
ain't gonna call him a dummy, but to be your
So
practice shot.
how do you know he's not interested? So
No.
imagine. So she said, "No, I'm not shooting. I'm not interested in someone that's not interested in me." Imagine
How do
if
you
men
know?
took that. Imagine if men took that approach.
No,
So-
actually,
Imagine if anybody took that approach. If I'm not shooting my shot because I don't know if you're interested in me, we all just gonna be single for life. Everybody gonna be single.
so let's talk about it. Yes, I would. He may be shy. This is very true. So the same way women appreciate being approached, men appreciate being approached, and oftentimes it helps for you to approach because in today's society, I heard this statement, and this came out of a woman's mouth, so I feel very confident repeating. One man's compliment is another man's sexual harassment based on whether or not that woman finds that man attractive.
That is true. That is
Also, you gotta approach men the proper way. Wayne know I'm getting where to go with this because I think I told you about this story about the crackhead that came up to me. So last week I was at a bar and I'm sitting there and this chick walks up, taps me on the shoulder. I turn around, she said, "Damn, you handsome." And I was like, "Okay, thank you. I appreciate it." And then she said, "You a handsome ass bitch." That's what she said. Right? That's what she said. She said, "You're a handsome ass bitch." Right? Hold on, wait. Let me finish. Because it gets better. She's still talking. And the whole time she's talking, I'm sitting here like, did she just call me bitch? Like, what the fuck? That's
wow.
I don't know how to take this. So she's still talking. And she pauses for a second. I looked at her and I said, "Did you just call me bitch? Like, that's how you approach me?" And she's like, hold on, wait. She goes, "Disregards me, I'm on crack." And I was like, oh.
The day.
She's like,
I still got my pearls clutched over here, and then you just took it up a whole
"Disregard
other
me, I'm on crack. I need to work on myself." And I said, "Oh Lord."
Well, I was in New York not too long ago, so you know she was like, hey yo, black shirt. I was like,
You got catcalled.
"Hey yo, black shirt." I was like, "Me?"
He said, "Me?"
I was like, "Me?" I mean, I'm not that type of. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. And then you know what? A lot of people my take on aggression in regards to dating. Aggression isn't necessarily a masculine trait in my eyes. I feel like that's a feminine trait. Women are aggressive. So it's just like I feel like that's more of a feminine trait in energy rather than
Bro, I didn't talk to some aggressive ass women.
Yeah. They like to fight.
So hold on before we
Nah,
get
see,
too
you
far.
like them
I
crazy
want to talk.
though,
I want to
so.
talk to the sister who said that she's not going to approach a man. So the thing is you don't even have to approach the man to try to shoot your shot. You can approach the man just to say hello, and if he is interested, he's going to spark and keep the conversation going because oftentimes It's not that men are intimidated by your beauty. It's not that men are too shy to talk to you. Most men would rather not be bothered with the BS of dealing with the woman who may not be attracted to him. And when I say the BS, like I said before, one man's compliment is another man's sexual harassment, all depending on if the woman finds them attractive.
What do
So
you?
if you find a man attractive, like y'all didn't link eyes a couple different times, just walk up and say, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
And he gonna take it from there.
What do you
You
do?
You
gotta
ain't got
watch
to
how
do the
you
whole
say
piece
what's
of
up
shot
though,
thing.
because you come to me and say
I
bitch
mean, not
behind
what's
me, what's
up,
up?
but
You got
not what's
hey,
up,
what's
but
up, bitch?
hey, how you doing? I know, you know what I'm saying. Whatever it is.
A woman
What
said,
to do when the man doesn't get the hint that you're not interested.
Walk away.
So first off, let's stop hinting. Let's not hint that you want the man to approach you. Let's not hint that you're not interested. Flat out, cut dry. I appreciate you, but I'm not looking for suitors right now. Simple as that. It don't have to be ew, how dare you, and all this whole other craziness
And
that
that's
I've seen on the internet.
and that right there is also why men don't approach y'all, is because when y'all
"This
aren't
right here."
interested, y'all get to
And then the hand claps.
It can
y'all
get
get
very
too far
disrespectful.
too quick.
It can you can
Just be like, I'm not
easily tell a
interested.
person. Now I will admit there are some straight rude dudes out there who weren't trained properly
This
by whoever
man said,
brought them up. You know what I'm saying? And are just flat out disrespectful, but they're disrespectful people in general. So the same way you all talk about how men get aggressive after you rejected them, there are women who reject with that same level of aggression.
It's cool.
Because you can reject a man without crushing his soul.
Somebody, somebody wants to know the type of women we're interested in individually.
that's her shooting her shot.
Girl, go on and shoot your shot then, girl. It's, shit. If you want to go to, you
Go ahead, coach.
play
Go
for the
ahead.
Warriors.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna,
go
I
ahead,
was gonna
coach.
let, I was gonna let y'all run with it because I think we are because we had this conversation before. What I was kind of looking into one, we kind of
We
Yeah,
tied it up in a
did.
couple of
that was
things.
last week.
Yeah,
Damn,
we
that was
did.
last week. It felt like a couple weeks ago. So for me, um, I'll get more specific than I was last time. Someone who has, I don't like to use the word God fearing, but has a sense of a higher power, that there's something else leading their life other than just themselves. Somebody who is aware of themselves, somebody that's willing to change what they realize needs changing, somebody who's compassionate, unconditional, loving, and their health has to be a priority. They don't necessarily have to be 100% fit. However, they have to be moving in that direction because their health is important to them. And for me, feminine, a feminine woman is going to be the that. Whew.
I got see, Wayne, you took mine. See, I got two requirements. Is she breathing and can she fight?
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
If you
Will
if
you
you
pull up to the
if if you
drive-through?
if you can't fight, it ain't gonna work. Because sometimes I get mouthy and the dude got a chick with him and I'm not trying to hit the chick. So you don't have to
Okay,
handle that.
see,
You
so
got to handle
you thinking about
it.
it for the exact opposite reason of what I am. So me, I need somebody that has a little spice in them because I'm the type that when my food ain't right, I may or may not say nothing about it. I
Oh
need
no, I'm gonna
somebody.
say something.
I need somebody that's gonna be like, yo, this is not it. Fix this, because I'm a very low. I'm willing to deal with certain things, but I need that. So
I'm gonna be honest. Like I just really want somebody who's playful, like who's not so serious. Like
Yeah.
I'm a very half the time I'm not serious most of the time. I'm not serious most of the time.
I'm
But so somebody who can
glad you said not
actually.
most of the time. I was gonna say you're not. Yeah, I think serious. You got about a 20% serious bone.
But you know what? You know what's crazy though? As playful and as jokingly as I am, when it comes to like my woman, she needs to see that gauge of just like, okay, his social battery's drained. He kind of needs to be to himself. That's not the time to be joking. Like, let me,
Yeah. If
like,
if if you notice that, like, see, hold on. See, if you notice I'm drained and you start playing, that's on you.
So now you can catch it.
That's on
Oh my,
you. Because I done already told you. That's on you.
yeah, yeah.
It's
They
interesting
got to be in
y'all say that
tune.
because I actually need somebody that is playful because that's the only way you're gonna get it out of me. Because as you know, Wayne, I'm the serious one out of all. I think I'm probably the most serious out of all of us.
Yeah, yeah. So, Coach Moore, if a woman comes up to you shooting a shot with all the requirements that you have on her, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Oh,
You meet
shoot.
Miss Perfect.
Shoot. She's shooting.
Oh, hold on, wait, hold on, I missed
Hey,
that
she
one.
down here with the Steph Curry. Steph Curry with the
Hold on, I
shot,
missed
boy.
that one. Where does that where that comment at?
Get you a Virgo. She say 5'5" with brown eyes is what she said. Let me look
Hold
her
on,
up.
She
wait,
hit
wait,
you with
wait,
the
wait.
nod. Stay
So you have a
shooting.
Virgo woman, you will have the best of
Nah,
all. Okay,
it's above
if
that.
that's what you say.
Oh my
It's
God.
above that. Also, Wayne, are you half blind? Why you cut the V off your shirt?
It's there.
Oh,
It
you just
ruffled
got
up
it
a little bit.
rolled up.
I ain't got it
All right, so
rolled up.
yeah.
It just cut
So I
like
don't know
that.
how I'm in, it's my live and I can't see all the comments.
Coach, why
Was it
you?
above Wayne's comment?
No, that wasn't my comment.
No,
It
no,
was
I
under
said
the
was it
comment.
above your comment
It
about can she
was
fight?
it was under
is
the Duke.
Queen Mary 1267. She said, "So, Coach Moore, if a woman come up with all the requirements that you have to you, what would you say about it?" I'll take a screenshot and send it to
Yeah,
you
no,
so
no.
you can.
No, so I know who Queen Mary is. She's one of my clients. She ain't shooting that shot at me. I don't think.
Only
I don't think.
he said I don't
Let, let,
think.
let me let me put that on thing in there. However, I mean somebody that is meeting, I'll be 100% honest with you. If the woman of my dreams fell into my backyard right now, I'd probably have to turn my back because I'm still working on myself a little bit, and I don't know if it's right. That's actually one of the reasons I'm single. Right, my G, I ain't been on a date in 2 years.
Man,
My life
listen.
messy. Like between the what's going on with me emotional between my custody battle and the other stuff, I feel like I would be putting someone in a situation where they feel like they have to worry about me too much.
Well, you know what, and I resonate with you on that, but I also want to add that a lot of times we think that we're a burden to people, right? You know, a lot of times it's just like I got a lot of stuff going on, and I wouldn't want to burden somebody with my issues outside of them. But you're also making that decision for them, so it becomes one of those things to where maybe the comfort of that woman can put you in a trajectory to where it helps out the situation, you know. So it really just takes on that person. But yeah, a lot of times we as men will be like, okay, well, I could be a burden to somebody, and I got a lot of baggage right now mentally, and all these other things. But it could be a situation where she'd be willing to help you out with some things. they
Shit,
they
she
buy
might.
playstations all day, so they can at least help you with some life stuff going on.
So
Somebody said they wanted to buy Wayne a PlayStation
Yeah,
last week on her.
I ain't got a PlayStation yet. I just want to
She
point
ain't
that
hit
out.
So
you up.
I,
You ain't
I
hit her
I
up.
get that because I was having that same thought and conversation in my head about because oftentimes people say, "Oh, I need somebody to be healed before I can be with them," or you know what I'm saying? It's like, well, first off, there's no such thing as healed,
Mhm.
and what level? Like you never know. The relationship, a healthy relationship, may be what they need to get into the healing process.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying get with somebody who like, and so it's hard to say like because they always say you can't love anybody if you don't love yourself. This is true. However, just because you have now, I'll ask this question: anybody on here ever love themselves but not like themselves too much in a moment?
Shit, right now. Shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
I love
in,
me,
in
but I don't like it. I got to do better.
so in
I
that
mean,
moment
it's
of
sometimes where I check myself like, damn, you ain't have to do all
Yeah,
that.
telling me.
And
Yeah,
it's been times where I didn't said that multiple times a day that has turned into a week. Like, damn, boy, you fucking up.
yeah, yeah. Still, you gotta love yourself, though. Which
Yeah.
is something that which is something that I just learned. I didn't learn about self love until my early 30s. In a sense of just like as fathers, as men, as just depending on where you're at in this world, like a lot of times we give so much love and attention and nourishment and all these things to other people, and then we only get that little 10%. We give that 10% to ourselves, and people just do that in general. But
Yeah, it's
I
nothing
find
nature.
that from my experience, men with families with children who are involved, of course, they give a lot of that, and they're showing up to the birthdays. And here's a clear example: everybody gets a birthday gift, everybody gets a Christmas gift, but what
What
did
you
you
get
give yourself?
yourself?
Yeah,
Not a thing,
you
because it's
know.
not. It's everybody else above me. So real quick, we got sister here that said, "Do you feel it's more difficult for men to feel like a burden as providers compared to a woman?" I'll ask you to re-ask that question with a little bit more clarity because I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. Do you
Yes.
think it's difficult for men to feel like a burden as a provider than a woman would feel as a provider? Is that what you're asking?
Mm.
So please ask that question again, Love and Sharon, so we can get that because that's I think that's a super powerful
Yeah.
question. Um,
I mean, I can start it off based off of what I think it sounds like, but
Go
we'll
ahead.
we'll clarify. But you're basically saying that do women struggle with the difficulties of being providers as opposed to men? And I would just say it's hard across the board, but also and with the societal norms that people portray, the man is supposed to be the provider. So you have a woman in a position where she has to be the provider, then that's also an extra burden of her thinking that, damn, I'm a woman in this position having to be a provider. So there's an extra burden on that. But also, shit, we all struggling. Shit, we all struggling. So, yeah, that's what I'll say with that.
So I saw Instagram. I saw a story on Instagram last week about this lady that divorced her husband because he had lost his job. They were together for 2 years. He lost his job, and within 30 days, she filed for a divorce.
Hey.
Bro, 30 days?
wow,
30 days? That man
wow.
lost his job. Not he quit. He got let go, and you had to pay 1 month of bills. And he was like,
Out of
"Nah,
there.
I can't do this.
Out of there.
You
Ooh,
got to go." But
we
here's
got
the thing.
another dope question for the men after you finish that. This
Who
one.
paying on fucking bills now? Because you didn't kick him out. Now you got to pay all. Now you still got to pay all the fucking bills by yourself.
That part. That's the part that gets me
That's a good
with
point.
But you
this
still
50
got to pay all the shit by yourself. Like what?
with the 50. So this whole 50-50 conversation is hilarious to me now. So I would love to have a traditional household where I take care of everything, and if she works, she can, but that money will be used to invest and do future things. But when you think in reality, if you were working and doing all of that stuff before we got together, why would you stop just because we get together and move in? Now, if we're going 50-50, that means each of us has 50% more to invest in our totality and future.
Yeah.
Look, I don't the whole 50-50 thing is beyond me. But and then even to go in with that with finances, and I've talked about this before. How are y'all doing the nasty, but y'all don't talk about finances? But that's a whole nother subject
We
that we'll talk
talked.
about another time.
Yeah. No, we talked about that in depth. I think that was
Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the simple fact that y'all can be so open when it comes to you got the swing and on the back of the door. Not that I've seen them before, but I'm just saying you're doing all of that and y'all having that conversation, but y'all can't have the conversation about the finances. I'm just saying. But also in regards to the 6-figure dude that women want and all this other because he got to make six figures, he got to do all this other stuff. He makes 6 figures. He drives a Maserati. The maintenance on that is horrible. He's renting out a $3,000 spot. He's got an expensive lifestyle. He's making 6 figures, but because he's not financially knowledgeable, he really making like 40, 50. He really can't do nothing for you, because
Hold
he's
on,
trying
dude.
he's
He
trying to
said
keep up with that lifestyle.
his rent is 3,000.
Yeah, yeah. One
Easy. That's
bedroom,
easy down here.
Bro, I'm going to say in some places around here, that's a studio.
I'm saying that's easy down here. Shit, that's yeah.
well,
So
I'm in
we
Texas.
we
I'm
got a
sorry.
question, fellas,
Look,
for the men. Do
But I got your
men
point.
do men know they want to pursue a relationship right away, or does it take a couple months to learn the person?
if I'm gonna tell, I'm if it's right away, he ain't trying to let that thing go. You put it on him one too many times, that was too good, and he's like, yeah, I'm over here
So
for a little bit.
or you
But
or you got a
if
whiff
it's
of it.
yeah,
He
no, I could say it can be both depending on the man and the season that that man is in. Now, if that man and when he got with you, he was intentional about the questions he was asking before going on a date, on the first few dates, he knows right away. Now, there are some people that are playing the field and they're like, okay, let me see if this person is better, this person is better, that person is better. And they kind of mixing and matching to see who's going to fit. So you can get both. However, a man, in my opinion, a man living in his purpose is not playing the field anymore, and he's vetting women to see who's going to be his next.
She's your queen to be.
I mean, even if I I I think people, when it comes to dating, put on that act up front. So if up front you fall for the initial act, and like you said, you don't vet, and he want to pursue a relationship with just you, and then all of a sudden you get in that relationship and you start leaving your panties on the floor when you walk in, and he realized you roll your toilet paper under instead of over, and he like, nah, I can't do this, and then you get all mad at him. That ain't necessarily all him.
That is wild. And then that's another thing too. People like a woman asked this question somewhere, I seen it, but they were just like, well, why do women, I mean, why do men want their cake and eat it too? Why do they feel like, a woman she can give herself up to a man or whatever the case is, and or he feels like she should do this and she should do that or whatever the case is. And my explanation to that is there are a lot of women who are already doing that, which is unfortunate because a woman who's actually trying to actively pursue a man for that same thing will get, it just depends on that conversation, right? Because y'all got to understand, like, men, we get stuff thrown at us too, often. And it's just like, if you're trying to pursue a woman and she's being resistant, not necessarily just physically, but just in a sense of just trying to build a connection, then you kind of leave them no choice. So I know you want to be chased, and I know you want to be catered to, and you want to be a princess and in that energy, but you got to be mindful that you ain't the only one. So pursue that man
And
too.
and on the flip side of that, she got two already in line that she ready to go with. So
So come on now, like
yeah,
like if we being honest.
like what are we doing?
If we being honest, it was a woman I touched. She said she got to do for the maintenance. She got to do for the nails and the hair. She got the dude on the couch. The dude on the couch is always the one that's hitting it. I don't know why,
The do
because he
what?
got time. The dude on the couch.
Oh yeah, he hitting already. He cracking whenever he wants to. He on the couch. Yeah, he cracking whenever he wants
He
to.
ain't got a job. He's available. He already know how to hit that spot. He ain't got no job. So there's those aspects. But then with men, it can be those same things, and it's just like y'all we gotta do better because crazy enough, there was a lie that I seen that, and I guess I posed this question on here. They said, "Is cheating natural?" You know,
No,
my
no.
answer, my answer to that was yes. Cheating is natural, and I'll tell you why I think that. Cheating is natural, just like being faithful is natural, because all of these things are just a human experience, and the human experience in itself is natural. Now, the communication between you and that other person within that relationship, because cheating is different for everybody. Cheating doesn't necessarily mean that cheating can mean you was texting this girl. That could be cheating. Cheating could mean something physical. That could be cheating. So it really just depends on the person and on the relationship. But to my question, because people keep asking that question, is cheating natural? I'm gonna say, yeah, it is natural because so is being faithful. You have a decision to make, whether you choose to, because that making decisions is natural. So
Well, all right. From
so
that perspective, from that perspective, I can agree with you.
from
Then
that
I can see how
perspective,
it
that's
is.
what, so it now it turns into something of you actually taking ownership of your actions. because our
See,
actions are natural.
see. Let's read this one because that's going to get interesting. I've been off and on for 12 years with the same guy, but officially over for a year. It's scary to me starting over and getting to know someone new. Listen,
Man, where are you seeing these comments at?
I
Because
see
I
it.
did not see that.
I
No.
see it. I
listen.
just seen it too.
You better start over because if he ain't,
Well, so
if
she says she's already
it
done. She's
right.
already done. So
Well, that's what I'm saying. She better go ahead and get to know somebody
yeah,
if
yeah.
she's ready for that. If you're ready for that, go ahead
So
and get to know somebody.
I would ask,
Well,
what is your fear? What is your fear in this? Like what's so scary about getting to know someone else?
the same thing
Um,
happened for another 12 years.
that could
Yeah, I
be
mean,
it.
well, when you're in a relationship when you're in a relationship for that long, it can leave you with the thought of not just of am I going to find somebody else that was as good as this was in the beginning. You get caught up not in the person, but in the idea of the relationship.
And then they're so jaded that they don't give the new person a fair chance. They're always looking for the quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote red flags.
Yeah, if I can throw in, here's what I'll say. Most times we're with the same person. I'll, I'm about to throw y'all ass in for a loop. So we can be out of a relationship for somebody with someone, right? You broke up with that person, whatever the case is, and then you get back into the dating pool. Why do you find that same type of person over and over and over and over again? It's because you yourself haven't changed or evolved into what it is that you need to be. So, in the aspect, my best advice for you in that situation is to just start focusing on yourself more. Just start focusing on how I can better me, not better me for everybody else, but just better me for me. How can I make myself happy? How can I do the things that I need to do within myself? Because I guarantee when you elevate, that same person is going to come into the play and you'd be like, no, I already know about that. I already know what's going on over here. But
That's
it's yeah, that dating pool, it got pee, it's not Twix. Those are not Twix floating in the dating pool. It's something else.
so
So
we ain't gonna be say we ain't even go all of that. It's just that right now, unfortunately, there are a lot of people who say they are doing the work that are not doing the work, and it is being crossed. And then there are flat out people that are just ignorant to doing the work at all. And we're talking about the internal work when I say that. And for somebody like you said, once you start to make those internal changes, the people that are attracted to you are going to change. So that's another reason why you're going to see a difference in the person that you'll be in relationships with change when you change because you're different. If you're staying the same, that means you're probably attracted to the same type of energy. Like I try not to get into the whole energy thing, but you're probably attracted to the same type of person, or because you haven't dealt with your own things, you haven't set the right boundaries and standards for yourself on when choosing a mate. So you end up choosing the dude who fits whatever the bill is or the opening at that moment.
You got seasonal people that you allow in.
Yeah. You got seasonal people that you done turn into evergreen.
and you can't do it.
Tragic.
They're the
And that's a long ass evergreen tree. 12 years?
branches or leaves. Ain't that what they say? Branches or leaves. The people can either be branches or they leaves, and the leaves are supposed to fall off. But you trying to you done duct tape the damn leaf to the tree, you know. And it's just there, So
What's
just be
going on,
mindful of that.
Camilla? So Camilla, get over before you get yeah, so I got that one self. So somebody had asked a question. Okay. Any of y'all interested in a relationship now while y'all pursuing your dreams? Any of y'all? Lloyd out of there.
Crazy enough, I am. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And this is coming
Yeah.
from. See, my phone went out. Good, good.
See, that's that iPhone. I'm gonna say yes.
Somebody was
It's
calling
got
me.
to be the right. It's got to be the right situation though.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, and same here. Like the thing about it is, what I do know is that we weren't meant to be alone. You know, And so that's the thing. It's just like you don't want to die an old, lonely ass man. So
Well,
nobody
I'm
wants.
not even stressed about being alone though.
And but the issue, and that is the thing though. But and this is based off of what I'm reading in regards to health and wellness, right? If we build community, if we have community, if we have just companionship, whatever that is, then it creates a healthier environment for us in general, and we're not meant to be alone. So in that aspect, it's just like, but the issue is we get comfortable being alone, and it's just one of those things where
Yes.
it's just, I seen the question too. I don't know. I don't know. A little
I,
piece of paper from
I,
the
Again,
state.
I know I will.
it's got to be the right
Yeah.
situation.
I know I will. I
I'm not that scarred from it because we're not gonna get into it. But I'm not that
no,
scarred from it.
no. Let's go because all three because I didn't know that you had been married before, so all three of us are divorced.
Damn.
Men.
Damn.
Why you give that Kevin Hart day?
Damn. Okay, so
So
but I guarantee, and this is statistically known, so I'm gonna guess here. None of us filed for divorce, did we?
Nope.
no,
Damn. Damn.
no.
So this goes to another post I saw on here. When most men, again, most men make that decision, they cool for the rest of their life in that situation. And what I mean by cool is most men don't get to that point that they want to leave because they already made that commitment to themselves that this is it.
Not
Not to
just to
you.
themselves. They made it to themselves, and so I'll take it a further because that man made the commitment to themselves and to you to go be with you regardless of what was going on because and I think it's easier and I think this is why the statistics are so high is that as men we understand that it's going to be that we understand that it's not going to be all peaches and cream the entire marriage. We go in knowing that and not expecting that. Whereas most women have bought the Disney fairy tale of knight in shining armor, sweep you off your feet, marry happily ever after type thing.
So the quote that or the little video that I saw, it said it started out by saying something along the lines that most men fall in love with intentions. Most women fall in love with the process of falling in love.
Listen,
Yeah,
listen. What
absolutely. But
my
that's
So
why
once they fall out or that honeymoon quote unquote phase is over, it's hard for most women to stay in there.
through my observation, and ladies, because y'all are listening, please correct me if I'm wrong, because this is just through my observation. I never want to say what's fact, but through my observation, what I've learned and what I've seen is that a lot of women in our society right now want to get married just to check off the box to say that they got married. Um, but-
they want to be married, they don't want to be wives.
and
That's
and
facts.
and but also the issue is, and I know the societal norms are because the issue with that is a woman can have her PhD, her own business, six figures, whatever the case is, doing well for herself, and her friends are going to say, her family members are going to say, "Oh,
But
that's
when you get
great,
married,
but where your man at?" So I know that's an issue for sure, but I'm just and the reason I say that checking the box
they
is
say,
because
"Hey, you lying? You asked me that question for a reason."
so please, like, I mean, honestly, I would want the women to elaborate on that because y'all say y'all don't agree, but 80% of divorces are filed by.
Women.
So I'm really just trying to figure out because I don't know, I don't know. I just that's my own perception from it though. So that's what I've seen.
I mean,
Um,
I know way more cases, or I've heard way more cases of women filing for divorce than the men.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't personally know a man that has filed for divorce.
I do, but she was cheating on him.
There's that.
So typically when a man files for divorce, it has to be something to that extreme. It's not because our feeling like we don't feel good anymore.
Can
Like
you continue a relationship?
it's because we're not happy anymore.
Can you continue a relationship after she cheated on you?
Relationship or marriage?
Not neither.
I see
Neither.
marriage.
Neither.
Definitely.
Many guys get
bro.
content, and that's an
Consent.
issue. Oh,
They get
consent.
consent.
See,
I got you. I picked you up.
yeah, no, that can happen. The men don't want to look bad. That's why they don't file. No, it's not that. It's not that they don't want to look bad. Men don't file because
We gonna work it out.
so I'll use
We're gonna
myself.
figure it out.
I'll use
Men are more
myself as an
solution
example.
based than women.
I'll use myself as an example. I had been unhappy in my marriage for at least 2 years before she finally ended it. But I saw the issues that we had in our relationship as growing opportunities for her and for us as a whole. So it's like, cool, I'm not happy, but I was and I know I can be.
We're gonna thug this out and we're
For
gonna figure
her,
it out.
it was I'm unhappy, I've been unhappy, and I'll never be happy again.
Yeah.
Like you don't make me happy, and because of that, I'm pulling away, and all the things that you're talking about are no longer valid because I'm not happy.
Boy, oh boy.
So for me, that's why I use myself as I can't talk about all marriages. However, speaking to the men that I know that are divorced, it was
That's most of it.
oftentimes because at some point the woman no longer felt happy. Her feelings change, and since the feelings change, now everybody else's life has to be interrupted or uprooted because
Mama
her
said,
feelings
"What's love got to do with?"
are off.
She said, "What's
Most
love got
women,
to do with it?"
most women want a married, a checkbox,
Uh-oh.
intelligent woman to waste their time. The voice is for someone deeper.
All right, let's ask. So let's get back on health and wellness.
In regard, okay,
This is still health and wellness. This is
it
just
is. It
mental
is.
health.
Physical.
It is.
Let's go physical.
Let's get back to
Physical.
physical. Okay, we can shift back because we definitely went far down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, that was a
So what about
deep rabbit
trauma
hole. We went
bonds?
down
Trauma bonds are going to lead to a failed relationship every time.
every time.
Leave that shit alone.
What's y'all thoughts on a woman having two men? Why not? Or would that work out?
Whatever
That's up
y'all
to that.
do, it's whatever y'all do.
That's up to that particular couple. That's not something I could rock with personally because most men are not going to rock. Most men, not males, most men are not going to rock with that for a couple of different reasons. But I'll just put one out there.
Hold on, wait. You
Just one.
said a woman having two men?
Yeah.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
That's what
Dang, dang,
I say. That's a no go. But the main reason that most men won't ever go for that, regardless of what they say, is because when and if you become impregnated, they want to be able to know for sure whether it's theirs or not. At the
man, that's
end of the
another
day,
reason. Right.
and
Man,
that's
even if
part of the
we
reason.
ain't having, nah, we
It's,
ain't doing that.
look, it's before we even get to that point. There is one mic in this
Nah, I
conversation.
said it. Nah, I said it.
One
We
mic.
the we the Temptations over here.
Yeah,
Five
one mic.
Temptations, one
Nah,
mic,
that's it.
one mic.
That's it. I have to get off and get some food for my son. So he just they've been texting me blowing up. But I'm gonna finish the live later on. If y'all still on here. So
All
I
right,
gotta order some
come
stuff.
on back with it.
All
Me,
right.
me, I think me and Lloyd can
Yeah,
carry it.
Yeah.
yeah.
One guy told me there has to be a good fit, literally. Yeah, nah. Share my woman.
Unless you're a Muslim, whew, that's still not happening over here.
Yeah, no. So like the multiple. So in my opinion, like even the whole poly thing, the poly whether you talk about polyamorous, whatever. I think that's still it can work in the right situations at the right time in life. So most people think that the whole poly thing, because they got to go back to Africa and look at indigenous tribes, and they look at and they look at the poly and it's like, oh, well, the men had multiple wives. Well, there was a reason that they had multiple wives back then. Well, and most times it wasn't a man having multiple wives; it was multiple wives having a man. So really need people to realize the rationale behind ancient polygamy. It wasn't just so men could be out here slanging D any which direction they wanted to. They oftentimes did it because the village was a community. And if a woman got with a man, it was typically her second husband because her husband died or whatever the situation was. The whole idea between poly was that every woman had a man, not every man had multiple women.
Yeah,
Because
we don't doing one-on-one over here. It's like personal coaching.
yeah.
1-to-1 ratio.
So that whole poly talk is crazy. And those that are using it in today's society, although I can see the role it could play, most people
are doing it wrong.
most people aren't mentally, physically, or financially fit enough to be in a poly relationship. Because there's a lot of people promoting that lifestyle right now that got the money, that are portraying that they got all three. But if you are putting your poly relationship on these internets, it's not healthy. Period. Point blank. Because that's not what it was designed for.
All right. Somebody said, would like to start juicing. Is daily juicing good? Should vegetables be mixed with fruit when juicing?
Beautiful question. Great question. I wish Wayne was here to answer it as well. Because I know you do some juicing, but not that much. So you can juice every single day without any kind of worry. Absolutely. It is one of the healthiest things that you can do for your body. The reason being, when you're juicing, whether you mix fruits and vegetables or not, you are removing the fiber and keeping all of the vital nutrients and minerals. So it's essentially like having an IV with nutrients. That's the way I always kind of compare fresh juice. So doing it daily is not an issue. Now, mixing fruits and vegetables is only an issue if you have digestive problems or you find that those mixtures cause digestive problems. In the healthiest world, you would only do mono juices. Mono meaning one fruit, one vegetable. In the ideal world, we don't live in an ideal world. We live in reality. So, yes, perfectly fine to mix fruits and vegetables in your juice.
Now, to that, people still need to get a well-balanced diet in with some sort of carb source and fat source and protein source.
Absolutely. So when I say is it okay to juice every day, I wasn't saying just do all juices every day. Yeah, no, just to bring more clarity.
We were just clarifying
just to bring more clarity. So, for instance, I drink a juice probably 5 out of 7 days a week. However, today I've eaten 3 meals. I've had 2 meals and a protein shake, a bunch of snacks, and a meal.
You got to think about it.
No, because I think my lunch was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and chips and salsa.
All right, let's talk about this. When you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, give me the layers.
Bread, jelly, bread, peanut butter.
Hold on. Wait.
I'm a traditionalist, bro. What you mean? How many pieces of bread you using?
So you got bread.
I got bread.
Oh, wait. I'm saying this is how it should be done.
Okay.
So we're gonna go bread, peanut butter, jelly, peanut butter, bread.
Okay, I can see that.
What?
So
do you want to know why?
Go for it. Tell me why.
Because that jelly doesn't seep through the bread if you got peanut butter on both slices of bread.
Okay, I can see that now. I thought you were getting ready to go a different way with that because if I'm extra hungry, what I will do is bread, jelly, another piece of bread, peanut butter, third piece of
Hold
bread,
on, what?
jelly. Yeah,
So
we're talking about
you doing
three
three
pieces of
slices?
bread. Yeah, that's for yeah. That's for them hungry times. That's too much bread. No,
No,
not for me.
that's way too much bread, play. Why you got three slices of bread?
That's it saves me from making two peanut like it's the same as if I eat two peanut butter and jelly sandwiches back to back.
You want to know
Yes, I
what else?
will do that.
Hold on, wait. You want to know what else you can do? Bread. On top of that bread, you put peanut butter, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you got jelly on both slices. You put them together, and you still got the original bread, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter bread. And you take away a slice of bread, so you don't get all that damn bread.
I hear you.
See,
I hear you. See, the whole point of having the bread is for the extra filling. No, I didn't eat
extra
all of
bread.
my meal prep tea. I still got two more meal prep containers left. Peanut butter on both pieces of bread, then jelly on
Are
one.
you
Okay, that's
being polite by saying you can see that? Stop. Wait, what?
yeah. I was gonna come back to that because I was gonna ask for clarity. What do they mean?
Uh,
Are you a seagull, my guy? Save some bread for the rest. I got you for sure. So that does not happen that often that I make a triple decker sandwich. But if I had like if it's like so that typically happens when there's that odd piece of bread that's left and it's like what you gonna do with it?
all right. Ooh, I got one for you. While
Let's
we
go.
on
Let's roll it.
while we on the topic of food, what is your go-to unhealthy yet still within your parameters snack? You know what I mean?
Yeah, see,
So
and
it's not like
that's
a complete
no,
like completely
and
off the
that's
rails.
hard for me because all of my snacks are healthy, and unless I'm eating something that is unhealthy, like I went and got donuts today because I was feeling in my feelings, so I went and got some donuts so I can eat my emotions. So I don't have that kind of midway unhealthy snack because all of my snacks are dates, trail mixes, chips, and when I say chips, I have quinoa and chia seed chips, or I do like the siete where it's the whole potato made out of and then
Yeah.
avocado. So I really don't snack unhealthily that much.
All right. Well, then
If we're
what's
gonna
your
go
super
to
unhealthy one?
them donuts. Donuts. Them donuts, they got a chokehold on me. Now, if we're talking about a meal, my go-to unhealthy meal is going to be pizza. That that's where it's going to go for me. It's going to be
Mine
pizza.
mine is either uh just a heavy pizza at that. Like
Okay.
I'm not doing a thin crust. I'm going all in. Like I love like if I'm going to cheat, I love a good Chicago style deep dish
Okay.
pizza.
So you talking about deep? You talking about deep dish, a lot of cheese, lot of toppings
Yeah,
type thing.
yeah.
I can feel you on this. That is the one thing that I do miss as a vegan is a good New York style or even St. Louis style pizza. So we got a good question here. What's the deal with oatmeal now? I hear it's not healthy.
Sorry.
Oatmeal in and of itself is healthy. You just have to get it organic now. The reason being is that oatmeal is one of the highest grains that is sprayed with glyphosate. Glyphosate is a chemical found in Roundup and other pesticides. That's why they're telling you that oatmeal is not healthy. In and of itself, oatmeal is one of the healthiest things you could ever eat. It regulates blood sugar, it regulates blood pressure, it actually reduces the amount of saturated fats in your bloodstream. Oatmeal is like the actual shite. However, eating it organic is important because of the chemicals that are sprayed on all of our food now.
High in fiber.
Hey, we look good. Appreciate y'all.
It's high
High five.
in fiber and low on the GI table, which you remember we were talking about that last week.
Mm-hmm. All of it.
So organic peanut butter, organic oatmeal with some peanut butter.
Now you just hit your protein category because also oats have a good amino acid spread, which if most people don't realize, amino acids are what you need to build muscle, not protein.
That's why they put it in shakes.
Beep, 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 beep. And since we're talking about that, stop buying protein shakes and branched chain amino acids, people. That's just more stuff for you to buy. They just selling you stuff.
You drinking Kool-Aid?
I juiced 2 leaves of collard greens, 1 green apple, 1 piece of ginger turmeric, 1 for detox today. That sounds like a pretty good juice. I've never seen organic oatmeal health food stores. No, you can get organic at you can get organic at Publix. You can get organic at most of your major chain grocery stores. Now, one place I don't think I've seen it yet because I haven't looked for it was in Walmart. I eat a lot of fruit and raw vegetables. That's fantastic. It's a great way to keep your protein, not your protein, but your digestive system where it needs to be. So we are just talking random right now. If you have a question, drop that question in the comment section or drop it in the question box if you want to stay anonymous. This whole point of this live is for it to be a forum for us to answer your questions. Since you weren't asking questions, we just kind of started talking sidebar like we always do. That's how we ended up on the other conversation that we was on since y'all wasn't asking health questions.
So let's dive down a rabbit hole of organic.
Okay.
What classifies something as organic?
Great question. But since we were on oats, is overnight oats good for breakfast? Abso-freaking-lutely. It is one of the best things you can have for breakfast. 2 reasons. 1, it's not cooked, so it doesn't have the same effect on your digestive system as cooked would be. 2, it's so full of nutrients that you're not going to find yourself hitting that midday hunger that you were going to be. And when you fuel your body with a bunch of nutrients in the beginning of the day, it actually helps you curb your hunger and your energy levels throughout the rest of the day.
Now, it also depends on how you dress these overnight oats up. It is not supposed to be filled with things you would put in a dessert. It is not a dessert. Dog, I've seen some of these recipes. It's overnight oats, whole chocolate milk, chocolate chips, peanut butter, chia seeds, and fruit. And it's got so much sugar in it and very little protein content that it is now a dessert.
Yes, I agree with you. So if you're wondering what goes in overnight oats, should be your oats. In my opinion, I know Lloyd may still use regular. I prefer a plant-based milk. I typically either use oat milk or coconut milk.
I use oat milk in mine.
Okay. See, there you go. Then I throw in, because I like mine to be extra thick, I throw in a coconut yogurt because it also adds a little bit of flavor. Then I throw in just a little bit of maple syrup, chia seeds, and then whatever other fruit I want to add. That's it.
Now, what do the chia seeds provide?
Chia seeds are going to provide you with your healthy fats, your omega-3s, your omega-9s.
So if I was to do mine, when I do overnight oats, it's oats, rolled oats, oat milk, peanut butter, white chia seeds, whey protein, and that's stir it up, stick it in the mason jar, stick it in the refrigerator.
Yeah, so depending on the flavor I'm going with, I'll throw peanut butter in there or almond butter, depending on if I'm going. And then some, and like if I have peanut butter or almond butter, I'm definitely throwing some cinnamon in that joint.
Oof, cinnamon and nerves.
Yeah, now you're putting it on top. So is raw milk beneficial or raw cheese? In my opinion, that's going to be a 100% no to both. And that's why we set up this dynamic the way we did. If Wayne was still here, it'd be a 2-to-1. But Lloyd is still a consumer of animal products, so his answer may be different than mine. But for me, there is no benefit to eating the excrement out of another animal. First and foremost, as adults in the animal world, we don't need milk anymore. Because if you look throughout nature, there is no other animal other than the cat, who has only been domesticated by humans, that drinks milk past adolescence. So in that sense, that's why milk is a no-go for me. Because as adults, our bodies don't need it. The second reason is milk from cows is super cow baby food. So it's meant to take them from these little bitty things to these great big old things. It's not designed for human consumption. So that's my take on milk and cheese.
Cheese, no, because most people, like we discussed last week, cheese is heavy with whey protein, which is what causes people to be addicted to cheese. So cheese is very addictive. People don't realize it. Cheese is very, very addictive. So it's the same thing with milk. You ever seen somebody try to sit there and force themselves to drink a whole gallon or half gallon of milk? So easy. I know you just turned it over, but it's easy, right? Also, oh dang, I was missing comments and shit. Yeah, you love cheese because it's got whey protein in it. Or
And
sorry,
it is addictive.
sorry,
Yeah,
casein, not whey.
It's
Casein. Casein protein is what is addictive
But
in milk.
it's funny that that's what's addictive. It's also casein that is the protein that cannot be broken down by the body because our bodies don't have the. Well, it's not just that; it's the lactase because it's the lactose and the casein.
It breaks
So that's
it breaks it down just on it. It's hard to find a casein protein that the body is bioavailable with. It's hard to find a bioavailable casein. The
yes.
bioavailability casein is typically a powder casein.
But
It is
that's
a powder. It's not
it's a
from
protein,
regular.
and that's because it's a protein that was meant for baby cows, not humans. But I mean, because again, I don't want to. I do want to because that's what I'm here for, and it's only because like I will prefer you to eat meat than to drink milk and eat cheese. Meat is less inflammatory than milk and cheese is.
Yes,
And,
dairy is
and
highly inflammatory to the
and
body.
inflammation is one of the leading causes of most other illnesses and
Disease.
diseases.
Yep.
That's the other reason why I don't promote milk of any kind or dairy of any kind. And if you want to eat your meat, yeah, but I only say that I say that you don't need to do that only because all of the nutrients that are in meat
So
came from
this
the plant source.
this goes to back to what we were talking about last week. If you're going to consume meat, get high quality meat. Is it more expensive? Of course it is. But you don't get all the additives. You get leaner cuts of meat. When you start to when you eat meat, whether it's chicken, whether it's fish, whether it's beef, pork, the leaner the cut, the better off you are because it doesn't have that high fat content. Does it taste as good? No. But you're going to be better off and not have all that inflammation you get from eating red meat. Right? You're also going to get more creatine in that red meat that is leaner versus the fattier cut of red meat.
Okay, so I mean, for those that are
It
asking about,
has its benefits.
so for those that are asking about the different meats, I am going to always say no because all of the meats, I don't care how clean it is, how expensive, all of that, they're still tied directly linked to chronic diseases. And my whole mission is to avoid chronic diseases in people. So that's why I have that stance on it. Also, my stance is I eat to live. And the minute that that animal has had its life taken, that flesh is beginning to decay. So there's no life left in it. So how can I get any life from it? So whether we're talking about chickens, and then most of your chickens these days are factory grown, so they're stuffed with so much antibiotics and hormones that it's crazy. Because, like, I don't know how old you are, but I remember
Talk
when a
about this.
chicken. No, I'm just talking about in general. I
Oh,
remember when a chicken leg used to be this. You know what I'm saying? A chicken leg used to be this big. Now that mug, like, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying, looking like the turkey thighs that you used to get at the fair.
So also, if you go to most butchers to get your meat instead of the, your, if you go to Publix and get a chicken thigh that's this big, what chicken you seen?
Walking around with thighs like that, you're
That's
so.
the
That's what I'm talking about. That's the whole growth process that they're growing chickens from egg to full grown in like 6 to 8 weeks now.
so
That's
also
something crazy.
someone said they only I do fish, just salmon sometimes. You should still be careful with that. Wild caught salmon versus farm salmon.
Always do. If you're going to eat any kind of fish, make sure that it's wild caught. Do not buy anything that has been formed, because those formed fish have been, one, kept in completely unsanitary conditions, and two, they've been fed GMO food grains. So yeah,
Reg- Regardless, on the diet, because there are bad sources of vegan and vegetarian life, the source of the food, the source of the nutrient matters. The source of where you're getting these foods from matters. You can get shitty water, you can get
absolutely.
shitty fruit, you can get shitty vegetables, you can get shitty quinoa, you can get shitty, just like the oats. You can get shitty oats. The source is what matters.
Absolutely. And so for somebody that was asking for help, if you want to go plant-based or you want help with that, comment the word me, send me the word me. I'll send you the link to my course that helps you make this lifestyle simple. We don't normally talk about all that stuff on here, but somebody said they won't help. So I'll do that.
That's all you. I mean,
But yeah, so
I'm versed
next
in it.
question. Now, well, you were about to bring up another subject before we went down that rabbit hole.
I was.
Yes,
That's the beat brain. I'm all cloudy up here.
that's okay.
I don't.
'Cause
I
I
don't
don't
remember.
remember either.
Um,
It's so hard to trust anything that we put in our body. It's not that it's hard, it's just the fact that we live in America, and America is a capitalist society. So that means it's profit over people, and that has led to unscrupulous business practices and farming and packaging and processing and everything in between. Because we used to live in a way with nature that, even with the agriculture being grown at a high amount, it was done in a way that gave the land time to replenish itself, or you were co-growing crops so that you could get the benefits of both. And now it's so industrialized that some of the land is barren and it can't be used for a bunch of years before it can be replanted again. So that's one of the issues that we're getting into with the fruits and veggies, is that the soil and land itself is depleted because it's been overused.
and even on top of that, a lot of the labels are not correct as far as what's in in the food and what's not. So
Yes.
it only takes a certain percentage for something to be marked organic. It only takes a certain percent.
That's what you were about to ask. You're about to say, so let's talk about organic. What makes something organic?
That's what I'm saying. So what classifies something as organic?
So, in my understanding, organic isn't one of those, isn't like a plant-based or one of those other things. Everything has to be 100% organic in order for them to get that label. Organic means that it was grown without any pesticides or any herbicides. That's what organic means. Does not mean that they didn't use fertilizer. Organic simply means that it was grown without chemical pesticides or herbicides or chemical fertilizers. They still may use manure and other natural fertilizers, things like that. That's what organic
Correct.
means when it comes to fruits, vegetables, and grains.
Can something be organic and still be unhealthy?
Yes. The same
Yeah,
way that something can be vegan and be unhealthy. Health has to do with the ingredients inside of a product, not the way in which it was grown.
correct. So a lot of times when I discuss how to eat healthy with people, whether they're vegan, pescatarian, you know, carnivores, whatever their diet is, they say, "Well, I get all organic stuff." It's like, okay, well, is that organic meat a high quality meat? Is it 80/20 beef, or even your fruits and vegetables? Does it look how it's supposed to look? Just because it has organic on it or it's in the organic section doesn't mean that it comes from a good source.
Yeah, big facts. Because people can, like, we live in America, people can pay and grease the right palms and get stuff pushed through and moved through.
And
Absolutely.
that's a huge problem to me that I have with like the FDA is that they're so quick because companies can pay to have something or be organic and it not be organic.
Yes, that I agree with. But that's where I think the system is broken in general, and we need to get rid of the FDA because why are the people that are in charge of drugs in charge of food? In my opinion.
Let's talk about
Right. To me, that it's a conflict of interest. How can you how can you as an organization approve drugs and approve food? Like to me, it just don't matter. Do you think it matters whether or not the seed being planted comes from a genetically modified source? Does it matter as much as grown without the pesticides? Now that is a great question. If it was grown, if the seed is from a genetically modified fruit, that is a genetically modified seed, and that particular fruit is no good, in my opinion. Once you get into genetic modification, this is man attempting to play God, and it's going to have catastrophic effects. Now, man made is GMO, man directed is a whole other situation. What's the difference between man made and man directed? For me, man directed is when you graft one fruit tree to another fruit tree, or you cross pollinate, or you crossbreed two fruits or vegetables to come up with a new fruit or vegetable. That's man directed. However, nature still played its hand. GMO is man going in and playing with the genetics, splicing the DNA of these things to get whatever properties they want to show up in that fruit or vegetable. That's where it gets bad. The
yes,
relabel
it could.
the meat when it expires. A person that worked with told me yes, they absolutely can relabel that meat.
And
What were you about to
someone
say?
said, would that plant be placed with the organic fruits? It could be.
It actually
So the
But
thing,
I wouldn't be able to answer that with any clarity because I think that in order for it to be organic, it has to be non-GMO also. I think. I don't know.
it
So I
doesn't.
haven't. I've never been asked that question, so I've never looked up that, and I've never even had that question to look it up. Can a GMO fruit be grown organically?
So it can't. Okay, something that is GMO cannot. Or, sorry, something that is non-GMO. I'm saying this wrong. Let me phrase it. Something cannot be both GMO and organic. So organic food cannot contain GMOs.
Correct.
So that answers that last one.
Yes.
But
It,
also it also you have to watch where you pick your food from because a lot of the times these stores are not hiring people that really care and they just place things where they think it should go. And it also, if someone picks up something that is non-organic and they go over to the organic section, they put something that's non-organic with the organic food and you're not paying attention and you pick it up and now you got something that's not organic from the
Mhm.
organic section.
Yes. And to answer your question, organic begins with a 9. GMO begins with an 8. Conventionally grown begins with a 4 or is only 4 digits. Conventionally grown means that it was grown with sprayed with pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, but it is not genetically modified. So that's the hierarchy for those who don't know. There is organic, which means it was non-GMO, not non-genetically modified. It was not sprayed with chemical fertilizers or pesticides. Next under that is conventionally grown, meaning it was grown how your grandmama and your great grandmama knew stuff to be grown with fertilizers, pesticides, and herbicides. And then there is GMO, the bottom of the barrel, where it has been genetically modified, altered in some way, and it was grown with the conventional measures of spray, chemicals, pesticides, so forth and whatnots.
Correct. You got other comments on here?
No, that's why I was going back to look to check to see. So yeah, they're kind of all along those same veins. Good. I'm glad that we were able to help bring some clarity for you.
We answered that one. Did we answer they relabel the meat when it expires?
Yeah, so that was still kind of on the same vein when we were talking about meat from before. She had made a statement that she asked her local butcher in the grocery store whether they repackage meat, and he was like, "Don't tell nobody," but yeah, throw some food coloring on that joint, and it's back on the shelf.
Yep. Also,
And that's another
don't
reason why I don't mess with it, because it's like there's too many factors, too many unknowns.
also stay away from the food that are in meal prep kits that the grocery store packages up themselves, because that stuff that's getting ready to expire, whether it's fruit or meat, that stuff that they getting ready to expire, and they're looking for somebody to grab it real quick because they're gonna make it that day,
Yep.
and you don't know how long that meat been sitting back there. Like we just talked
Oh
about,
man,
they can add food color into it.
it's
They
crazy
can
you say
they
that.
keep spraying it.
I
All
got
of it.
a TikTok clip from like a year ago that I was supposed to do a stitch or twitch, whatever the heck. I was supposed to do it and do a voiceover. He was talking about how, as a butcher, when they have meat that's about to go bad, they start to chop it up and they start to do certain things with it, especially if that butcher is attached to a deli.
Yep.
So it's like, man, yeah, ain't no bad meat around here. That's gonna get chopped up and it's going in the pork loin. It's going in the ground beef. Oh, you know what I'm saying? We had some marinated, what's the name going on? Guess what that was? Because now you can't see it. So that's another reason why, for me, meat is a no-go. Is because there are so many different things that can go wrong. Now, let's talk about fish real quick. Because a homeboy of mine posted a video about fish where him and his wife were about to cook some salmon. She had washed it, did it good, but left it sitting out on the counter to dry. And they come back, and there is a parasite climbing out of it. And I comment on the video because me and him have had the conversation. He was talking about how he was thinking about giving up fish. He just wasn't ready yet. And my comment was, this is why I promote a plant-based lifestyle. People were coming at me left and right talking about, well, fruits and vegetables have worms too. They have parasites too. I said, no, there may be insects in fruits and vegetables, but parasites inside of a fruit or vegetable, you're not going to find. They may be on
No.
the outside of a fruit or vegetable, and it's only because that fruit or vegetable was contaminated by waste from humans or animals that had parasites.
Yes. Now, the wording on that is really what matters.
Mm-hmm.
Can you find insects in vegetables when you go to clean them?
Yes, absolutely.
Uh, you can do
But
that with just about any food.
but that's the conversation
Parasite?
I was having. Is because for me, an insect and a parasite are two totally different things.
Right.
Now there are parasitic insects, but it's not the same as something that can can survive the digestive juices that I have.
Now,
Yes, I think he still does.
huh?
No, somebody asked, does he still eat meat? I think, yes, I think he still does.
Uh, so that so the people that were saying that you can find parasites in fruits and vegetables came from a study where when they cleaned the fruits and vegetables, there are parasitic insects found on the food. The other part of that research that isn't being told was those fruits and vegetables were being kept in places around meat.
That's the part that that they keep looking over. And so the part, so people are always saying that us vegan and plant-based people are pushing our lifestyle on people. When all I did was make a comment amongst a friend, hey yo, this is why I promote a plant-based lifestyle. But the amount of people attacking me, calling me stupid, and like, don't you know that there are bugs and vegetables too? And then the one person assumed that I've never grew my own fruits, that grown my own food. It's like, oh, you must never grow your own food. There's insects in all fruits and vegetables. Insects and parasites are two different things. Well, you say what's proven to kill parasites? Are we talking about parasites inside of our body or parasites inside of the food? Because if you properly heat up meat and fish and all of these things, and you cook it thoroughly, you ideally should be killing all of the parasites. Should is the key word. And I don't live by shoulds. I want to know for sure that I don't. Now, if we're talking about internally to cleanse your body of parasites, you have pumpkin seeds, which are very good. You have, what are those things? Papaya seeds, which are really good. Cerasee. Um, there are other herbs that are fantastic for it. Wormwood. Like I could list a bunch of different herbs, but the biggest key would be to avoid eating them. Pumpkin seeds, papaya seeds, wormwood, cerasee would be my top go-tos.
Now, now, on top of that, the biggest part of those studies, because I just briefly skimmed over 3 of them because I was making sure that I was getting ready to say this correct. Of those studies that were done, only one of the hundreds of studies had issues with American food. They were all in Southwest Asia,
Hmm.
Southeast Asia, and Central America,
Dig. And I could see that being the case because the
and Africa.
standard and because the standards of procurement and processing are different.
Right.
And the proximity to where food is being grown to where animals are being kept is plays a huge role in that. Because they talk about, oh, you can get E. coli and all these other things. Most of your fruits and vegetables that have these illnesses or diseases on or around them is because they have been sprayed with contaminated water, because the water from the runoff from the pig or the cow farm hit the water source that sprays the crops.
Yeah.
Or they were shipped together and shipped very poorly.
That part.
So come on with your
Also,
questions, people.
since we haven't had a couple questions in a little bit, what kind of water do you drink? Do you drink bottled water?
I do drink bottled water. When I'm at home, I drink distilled water. When I'm out and about, I drink spring water.
Why do you drink the two differences?
I drink distilled water at home because it is most cost effective. I have a water distiller on my counter, so I distill my own water. And one, it's most cost effective, and two, I know that there's absolutely nothing in my water. When I'm out and about, I buy spring water because I like spring water. So the best water for your body is spring water. The second best water for your body is distilled water. in my opinion. There are a lot of people who are going to say distilled water will rob your body of minerals. No, it won't. Your body's only going to release whatever excess minerals it had any daggone way. I like distilled water because if it is going to draw anything out, it's going to help draw out the toxins. That's why when they do science experiments or when they tell you to give your baby water and to mix with formula, they say use distilled water so you know there's nothing in it. So that's my take on that. No alkaline water, no Kagan water, none of these other.
Bro, the reason why I bring that up is I got into it with somebody on an Instagram post over volcanic versus spring.
Okay, so I boil my own tap water.
Right?
Boiling your own tap water is only going to have a slight input. However, distilling is better because what distilled does is it catches the captured steam from the boiled water,
Yep.
and whatever minerals, chemicals are not able to evaporate, they stay in the bottom of the pot. So actually, here, come with me real quick.
You gonna tell you distill?
Yeah, I actually just distilled a new batch of water after cleaning this thing one time.
Someone
So
said, "Hello, what do you recommend?"
that's what's in your tap water.
Yep.
You see all that brown and what's not? That's out of 1 gallon of tap water. This was a perfectly clean stainless steel thing in the bottom.
Okay. Someone said, "What do you recommend to wash your fruit and vegetables with?"
Apple cider vinegar or regular vinegar
And
or
water.
baking soda. So now, what I learned from somebody, and I still don't understand it, but do baking soda and then vinegar, or vinegar then baking soda, but don't do the two of them together because they cancel each other out. This is what I was told because so like all the but I
I
always
knew the
thought
acidity cancels each other out. I've never heard doing both.
yes. So I used to always clean both at the same time, and one day I made a video and somebody attempted to educate me and said don't do both because they cancel each other out. And my opinion was like, well, that's the whole point. I want this foam. So when I clean, I like to see bubbles, and so I'm thinking, okay, this chemical reaction is helping clean it. What
Right.
pressed coconut water is okay. Pressed coconut water is perfectly fine. Yeah, I always did both at the beginning too. Let's see. I feel like there was a question. Anything spring water? Anything spring water. Out of a glass is best. Bottle, plastic bottle, just as fine. Well, it's not just as fine, but glass is preferred, but glass is expensive. What
Just
about
drinking.
alkaline water? So alkaline water is a marketing ploy at the end of the day, in my opinion.
The If you don't have issues with your pH level, you don't need to drink alkaline water. I'll put it like
Even
that.
if you have issues with your pH level, drinking alkaline water is not going to help you because of the way the body assimilates water.
Yes. Just stay
So
away
that
from alkaline water. It's a huge ploy that came out in the early 2000s when, what was that, smart water was a thing.
did.
And
See,
it's a whole
but
marketing thing.
it's become extra popular also because of the alkaline food movement.
Yeah.
I think it had that played a bigger role in it than the whole smart water thing. Is because now everybody wants to live this alkaline lifestyle when they haven't actually studied the man and the message. That alkaline
That's the biggest
lifestyle
part.
was a prescription for a short-term method to get people from one extreme to another. Not do this for the rest of your life and avoid these things. Don't get me down going down that road because I'm so anti Dr. Sabi that it don't make sense.
Oh, you started that soapbox before. Started. So someone said, well, I think is drinking apple cider vinegar good for digestive purposes?
No.
Yes. Wait. What hold on, wait. What issue with your digestive system are you trying to do or handle? Because the only reason why I say that is if you are trying to get rid of certain toxins, it does aid in that. Aid being the key word.
So the reason why I say no is that apple cider vinegar is so acidic that it can have negative effects if you're drinking it straight. So
You
I
have to
use apple cider
dilute
vinegar.
it. You do have to dilute it.
Yeah, but most people aren't diluting it, and that's why I make that statement.
Yeah,
That has to be a first.
you got to dilute it.
What
Don't
type
do.
of grape do you recommend if you can't find seeded ones? The ones that are available. There is no like whether the ones that taste best to you. Like I like red grapes and I don't like black grapes for real. So what tastes best for you? And the whole seeded versus non-seeded goes back to the conversation that we were having about
GMO.
man directed and non-man directed. So unless it says GMO on it, eat it. Seedless fruit does not mean that it was GMO'd. Seedless fruits occurred in nature first. It is a natural mutation that happened in nature. Man found that thing and said, I like this.
I need to
And
recreate
what
it.
it does is he takes cuttings of it. He reroots it. He takes cuttings of it. He reroots it and he keeps growing it. I'll give you an example of how this works in real life. You see this right here? This is called a snake plant. See what it looks like in its full glory? This is a leaf from one of my other snake plants. And guess what I got going right here? A new snake plant. So this is how you're able to regrow fruit, i.e. clone, because they keep throwing out the word clone to make people not like it. This is how you clone fruits and vegetables. The same way that I just cloned
Yep.
this. Is this snake plant any less of a snake plant than that one? No, it's not. So please stop falling for these internet warriors and other people ites that tell you that the cloned fruit is not healthy, that the seedless fruit is going to make you seedless and all this other crazy stuff.
Now,
Seedless fruit is okay. Yes, I will say it as clearly as possible. Seedless fruit is okay unless it is GMO.
Quebec Beauty, my biggest issue with apple cider vinegar is people, one, they don't dilute it. So they're putting something very acidic into their body. Two, it's going to make you bloated.
It's super acidic. So there are
It's going to
better
make you
ways
bloated.
to fix your digestive system than using apple cider vinegar. You could do the same thing in the morning with key limes, and that's going to have a better effect on your digestive system, excuse me, than
Natural,
apple cider vinegar.
natural
Yeah,
pre and probiotics are way better than trying to just do this apple cider vinegar craze.
cleanse and reset. Yes, absolutely. Apple cider vinegar is great addition in certain cooking aspects, but to use it as a healing modality, I would recommend against it. You can get the same effect from key limes, from lemons, limes, lemons, or key limes. That's what I'm trying to say.
What'd you say? You cut out for a second.
No, I said limes, lemons, or key limes. I was blanking out. Why drink it at all? What does it do? Oh, okay. So apple cider vinegar can have some relieving benefits on the digestive system because it is super because of it changes the acidity of your stomach level. So it can relieve and release some gases and certain things. However, it can be more detrimental to a lot of the systems like the esophagus, the lining, the stomach lining, and all of that. So I don't recommend it because there are healthier versions or healthier options, I should say.
And then again, people don't dilute it. And ironically, it always cracks me up when I see the apple cider vinegar recipes because 9 times out of 10, what do they put in it? What two fruits did you just say?
Oh, lemon and lime. All right. So you might as well just start off there.
You're you're putting a quote active ingredient with better ingredients and and marketing the least active ingredient.
Yes.
I don't understand it.
It's backwards. And so that's again where it's the shortcuts. It comes down to a lot of people trying to take the shortcuts. So someone said healthier bananas to eat. The bananas you can buy. I am not the proponent of just eat burrow bananas and try to find the bananas with seeds in them. The bananas I have over there have seeds in them. They're just not replantable. Those little black marks inside of a banana, guess what those are? Those are seeds. They're just not replantable. So again, there are a lot of people that are telling you that this hybridized fruit is unhealthy when it's not the case. Unhealthy in compared
It's
to
all
what?
marketing. It's all marketing. Just like it's just like the whole. Let's go back to the oatmeal conversation we had. They were telling people stop eating oatmeal, but weren't telling people why oatmeal is now classified as quote unquote unhealthy. It's not that it's unhealthy. You just got to get a better source of oat.
That's it. And so oftentimes, and there are people that I admire in the health space that spew some of these things out about burrow bananas and seedless fruits. However, oftentimes, in my opinion, looking at it from this perspective, it's about the sensationalism of it. If I
Yeah.
hear it, as much as I respect the brother, if I hear what, and I'm not gonna say his name, but as soon as I say this phrase, most people who gonna know where it came from. If I hear one more person talk about H3O2, I'm a freaking scream. I I admire that brother so much for him to be so educated, so
And then he says,
knowledgeable, and but not just says it once, talks about it often.
like it's a whole thing that he has like the internet going crazy over.
H3O2 is a made up phrase and term.
It's
There are
how
no,
do you
like,
get
I'm not
how
going to
do
say
you
that there are no more elements. However, if you look at H3O, if you look at the covalent bond of H3O2, it is an unstable bond.
I don't
If you know
understand it.
anything about science and how molecules come together to create something else.
So
Now, if you would have just called it fruit water or vegetable water, what it actually is, yes. Now, what they're talking about when they're talking about this structured water, that's why I didn't say structured water because that's bullshit too. What they're talking about is the liquids inside of fruits and vegetables. These are healthier than just regular water because regular water is not meant to hydrate your body. Regular water is meant to cleanse your body and replace the fluids that you perspire. The reason why the water inside of fruits and vegetables are healthier and are structured is because they come with the vitamins and minerals that are in that fruit or vegetable. That's it.
water also transports those nutrients you get from fruits and vegetables.
That's it. So the whole H3O2, because I want to know where this extra hydrogen atom is coming from and how is it bonding to
And
this to
why
these.
are we just now figuring it out? That's my question.
So again, I have the utmost respect for the brother. However, there are certain things that, just like we talked about at the top of it, the hit training and all of these things that become buzzwords in the industry.
That 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 actually like it's ironic you say that because earlier I was going to ask you what is oh that's funny what you're talking about. Did you see who just checked on
Uh huh.
what we were talking about earlier?
Uh huh.
Um, but a question earlier I was going to ask was what's one of the biggest trends that you would like to personally debunk without getting too much on a soapbox of it, and you just did it.
Oh, so it's and I'll do it again, and I'm okay with it. It's it would be the alkaline and the H3O2 thing. Those would be the two that I are the soapboxes that I would stand on and likely, you know what I'm saying, spend the rest of my life on. And it's because when the alkaline diet was presented, it was presented as an option and a tool against the acidic diet that most people were eating. It was to take you from one extreme to the other extreme so that your body could heal and then you could find your way back to an equilibrium of balance. Because if your body is too alkaline, there's a disease called alkalosis. Just like your body being too acidic is a problem. There's no problem with alkaline water. You can buy it to your heart's content. It's just overpriced water. Because the body is not able, the way the body assimilates water, whether its pH level doesn't really have a huge effect. Now, I'm saying that not to say go drink Dasani, which is acid. You want a pH balanced water, which is why we talk about drinking spring water. You don't want water that has all of these chemicals added to it. You don't want water that has calcium chloride, potassium sorbonate, and all these other chemicals that they're saying are electrolytes. And the next person would tell me that, oh, because I made a video a while back about drinking pure, clean water, and I was held up 2 water bottles, and I went through the potassium, and people in the comments, oh, those are electrolytes. They put that in there for electrolytes. No, they don't. They told you right here on the front for a taste. They did it for a taste.
That's
Now,
the primary. That's the primary reason was for taste.
Now, let's break this down a little bit. If they were putting electrolytes in your water, why would they sell you Gatorade when the Gatorade has the electrolytes? That's the whole marketing ploy behind Gatorade. Get your electrolytes.
The other part to that is most drinks don't contain enough electrolytes to be considered electrolyte drinks. If
you need electrolytes, go get you some coconut water. Call it a day.
not even that. It don't, like most drinks, like if you're that dehydrated, if it is a dehydration drink, there's one where I swear by it, and it's because it's so nasty, because there's so much sodium in it. If you don't taste any sodium in that drink, it probably ain't gonna do nothing. If you're that dehydrated, if you're super dehydrated and you can't taste the sodium in a hydration packet or a hydration drink, it doesn't have enough of the electrolytes that your body really needs to be considered back into a good hydrated level.
Okay. So now, if you have questions, drop them in the question box. As you see, we are answering them as they go along. If you are new to this live, make sure you follow my man Lloyd. And if you're new to this live and from his audience, make sure you follow me. And let's not forget the vegan black man, even though he ain't in here. He went to go cook for the kiddos.
He about to be back. I got a question for you. Do you think you can strength train fast enough to have benefits on, or do you think you can strength train quick enough to consider it cardio?
No.
See, that's one of my soapboxes. To me, the answer is yes. What, on a very broad level, on a very broad and basic level, what is considered cardio? Quote unquote.
It's so the scientific answer, it's the rate at which your heart rate and your breathing reaches this particular maximum such and such.
On a very
That's what my memory
on a very surface level.
Surface level. Cardio is working on your cardiovascular, so that means getting your heart pumping and your breath, getting your heart rate up, and get your your oxygen levels up.
So we're talking aerobic versus anaerobic, right?
Correct.
Can you perform some?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I guess you could. Yeah. However, in my opinion, so with that, if you're doing a motion fast enough to get the cardio effect of it, in my opinion, you're not doing the strength training, because now you're diminishing the strength training aspect. Because for me, strength training, a huge part of that is time under tension.
There is a fine line with that. There is a super, but there. I'm I'm being serious. Like there is a super fine line with that, and there's only certain exercises where you can achieve both depending on what side of that fine line you're on. The biggest key is it has to be compound exercises.
Absolutely.
You
You cannot do a curl and call it cardio.
You can't do a bunch of curls real quick and then do a bunch of tricep rope push downs, and because you did it very quickly, call that cardio. The biggest thing is the heart rate has to elevate, and again, your body has to be in time under tension for so long in order to have both happen. So things like walking lunges,
Squats.
squat thrust. You can count squats, but now if you go squat thrust, you're taking think about how compound that is versus just a regular squat.
Yeah. So whether you're talking about jumping squats or squat thrust, because you said thrust and you did the jumping motion, so I'm like jump squats.
No, squat thrust. So let's say you put 2-pound dumbbells in your hands.
Yeah.
You squat. When you stand up, you just go like this. You're not jumping. You're just putting your hands above your head. Still down.
Oh, okay. So see, when I think so I call that squat to overhead press. When I think of
whatever you want
squat,
to call it.
because when I think of squat thrust, I think of squat down. So you put your hands on the ground, thrust your legs out behind you, come back up. So basically,
That's a burpee.
the end. No, because to me, a burpee isn't a burpee until you jump.
So you're talking about just the bottom part, quote unquote.
Yeah, so you squat down, put your hands down on the ground, thrust your legs out behind you, bring them back up, and then you squat back up.
Okay.
So, that's why like there's so many different names for a bunch of different stuff.
There's so many different names for the single exercise, but compound movements where your heart rate elevates, if you do them long enough to hit that, or if you do it to where you're affecting the aerobic and anaerobic energy system, you can.
Yeah.
Now it also takes a person with a good training age to be at that level in order to do it long enough for you to see benefits.
To see both benefits, unless you're. So I agree with you, and I agree with you again, because high intensity interval circuit training can still be doing both of those, because let's say I set up a circuit of curl this, but I'm doing the exercise for a specific set of time with a short break, and then I'm moving to the next exercise.
Right.
So I'm still getting the cardio aspect because I'm not giving my heart enough time to come back down to a level. So put in that sense, yes, I retract my previous answer of no. Now that I think about it from different angles.
Yeah. So just walking on a treadmill, at an incline is cardio. Yeah. Yes, if you're doing it long enough.
Yeah. Say that is what would be considered steady state cardio.
Yeah. So that is aerobics. So you're tapping into your aerobic energy system. So I'm not a huge fan of saying cardio, because walking
It's
to one person,
generic.
like me walking, I could walk for a long time, and it'll take me a long time to get to the point
where it's
of raising my heart rate.
Right. Well, see, you have to be walking it wouldn't have to take you a long time, but you'd have to be walking at such a fast pace that you'd basically be speed walking in order to get the cardio aspect of it. So with that, cardio is going to be defined by the person doing it and their current skill and fitness level.
Right. So if we're just talking, so that's why I more so use the term of aerobic exercise versus just cardio.
Yeah. And however, in order for that to take hold, we'd have to get the entire industry to start changing that language. However, that's why we're having these conversations, so that we can dispel some of the myths and get more words in people's vocabulary.
Because there's some other cardio that people be doing, and you don't want to call that cardio. We ain't talking about vertical.
Jog and walk. I get my heart rate up by jogging, then I slow down and walk. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. So
Yeah,
for
now you're
me,
just doing an interval.
depending on the rate at which I jog, it may not even be cardio unless I go it for a long time. Like I could jog if I take 15 minutes to run a mile, that's not really cardio for me.
Right.
Now, if I run that same mile in the 12 to 11 minutes that I'm running it now, yeah, my heart rate is up there. I'm a little gassed at the end.
So one of the things that I started doing is more development on my aerobic capacity. And for me personally, I know there's a lot of other people out there with this issue. Is I get bored super easy doing cardio on one exercise or one modality.
Yeah.
So one of my work, I'm actually going to make the post. What is it? Tuesday? No, today. Yeah, today's Tuesday. If I can get to a gym on Thursday, because I'm traveling, I'm going to Texas this weekend for an event. If I can get to a gym where I can do my three modalities that I like to do, I might see if I can do it on two. But I switch. So if I got 30 minutes planned for that day, I'll do, let's say, like today I did Stairmaster for 10, bike for 10, rower for 10.
Okay.
And the whole point is to get my heart rate up to a certain zone and keep it in that zone for certain periods of time, depending on the modality that I'm using.
Okay, so we
So
got 1
if
to 200 push-ups a day help muscle growth. So I'm guessing they're asking, will 1 to 200 push-ups a day help muscle growth? It depends on where you are and where you're starting from. 100 push-ups a day is enough for most people to start to see growth until you hit a plateau.
also
And then what kind of push-ups? Are you doing just standard push-ups? Are you doing push-ups with correct form? Are you doing different variations of push-ups throughout that 100?
Also, with that, if you're doing them a day, we talked about it earlier. If you're working out the same muscle group every day, when does it have time to heal and
To
grow?
rest actually grow? And are you eating enough calories to see the muscle growth? Because what often people say, "Oh, are you eating enough protein?" Forget the protein. Are you eating enough calories? Are you in a calorie surplus? Because that is one of my biggest issues with gaining weight is I don't eat enough to be in a calorie surplus all the time. Because I do eat plant-based. Most of the foods I eat are low in calorie, high in nutrients. So I have to eat a lot. I mean a lot in order to reach the calorie count that I need to have.
How much how much time on the treadmill is a good number? That's all really depending on where you're at. So if and the intensity that you're
That you're
either
walking
jogging, or
on.
running. If you are walking and you're doing something with low intensity, if your intent for the day is low intensity, that can mean you're on it for 35, 45 an hour. If you're running, 10, 15 minutes is enough.
It could be
If
five for real,
you're,
and it
it could
depends on
be,
what you're looking for as well.
right.
Because I used to, when I was younger, I used to start my workout with a 5 minute run. It wasn't a jog. It was I get on there, I walk along for about a minute and a half to just get all the muscles warmed up, and then I crank that thing up to about 15, 14 on the pace, and it's like
We're going.
for,
We're moving.
for 5 minutes, and then I'm done. And by the time I get off of there, I'm gassed
Right.
and I'm ready to get the workout in. So it's really up to the individual where you are and what goal you're looking to achieve.
And this goes to what we were talking about earlier with the four goals or the four steps. A clear and precise goal is number one. Like why are you what are we doing? What's the point of us being on this treadmill? What's the goal? So if you're 52 and you don't run anymore, but you want to increase your cardiovascular health, maybe you get on the elliptical. Maybe you swim.
Get on that rower machine.
Maybe
Actually, like that you brought the rower because the rower is going to incorporate more of the muscles in your body anyway.
listen, that rower boy. I did
Legs, back,
I did I did
arms, shoulders, core.
I did shoulders today, and then I did 1,000 meter repeats. I did 4,000 meter repeats today.
That was
Listen, notice I've been leaning today. because it's hard to sit here like this because I'm sore. So I'm sitting here trying to take pressure off my shoulders. I'm 61 years old, but that rower ain't nothing. The rower and the ski erg ain't nothing nice. And
Hmm.
I'm a Versa climber, 61, and I run. I walk
I'm
in
not sure
box.
what they
It's really
in
good.
box, but yeah, I mean, but no. So
Um,
it's fantastic that you're still that mobile and that fit at 61. That's fantastic. That's what we're promoting for more people to be able to attain.
yeah,
And it takes with starting with the beginning steps of starting where you are and attempting to not overdo it and get back to where you were 10, 15, 20, even 2 years ago. Because since I've been back
holy
with
shit,
my
it's 11.
consistency for this week, I cannot do the same exercises I was doing 2 years ago. And we talking about just 2 years ago.
Right.
I have to do some regressions because I've lost some of the strength in my grip. So I've had to change up how I do certain things. I've lost some of the strength in my shoulder. So now I have to go back to building up from the foundation up, which means I've had to go back to using 2 pound weights for some of my movements and motions and going back to really building some of those stabilization muscles because I don't want to hurt myself.
I'm good. It's just boring to run for me. So do different
Yeah,
stuff. We just talked about it.
running is boring for most
So
people.
you could running sucks for most people because it's just like, nah, I'm on a treadmill. Maybe go outside and run.
Get on the Stairmaster.
Get on a
Get the
stairmaster. Get an actual bike. Go outside and pedal. Don't just ride. Don't pedal for a little bit and then keep going and you stop moving your legs. Pedal the whole time. Pedal the whole time. Pedal the whole 10, 15 minutes you outside. And I guarantee you when you come in, them legs gonna feel it. Heart rate's gonna be up because we're constantly moving. On that subject, I did a Peloton workout over the weekend.
how's that? I've never been on one of those yet.
I'm not big on spin, but I did the whole thing where I was up and out of my seat and all
Okay.
that.
And you did the up, the
I
down, the back and the
did the
forth.
up, down, back, forth, left, right. I did that whole thing. It was a 30-minute workout. I'm gonna say as far as like cardio goes, that was probably one of the best ones I've gotten in like maybe 6 months.
Okay. Dope. So
But yeah,
was
I
it
always
was it a Peloton class or was it like one of the just guide workout from the stream?
it was it was a class that was pre-recorded, but I just chose it based on the playlist and the length, and I just went with it.
Okay, dig. All right. Oh, so that's right, because it must have been like a Peloton in like the gym or
Yeah,
where you was at. Dig it,
yeah.
dig it, dig it. Oh, just avoid
I'm
everything. Yeah.
avoiding it.
You know,
Um,
most people avoid the Stairmaster because don't nobody like walking upstairs. However, the Stairmaster is going to be one of the greatest things you can do for yourself, whether you have knee issues, whether you're trying to grow your butt. Like that Stairmaster ain't no joke
especially
when it comes to
for
building
time.
muscle.
Especially for time. You put that thing on level 5, and you constantly going.
And the
Okay,
reason
hold on.
is,
Let me
let's
let
break it
me.
down the reason why. So walking upstairs is compound motion. You're calling in multiple muscle groups.
So my biggest thing is when I see people on the stairmaster or any sort of cardio equipment, and they're holding on to the rails or the handles and all that stuff, or they get on a treadmill and they take the incline all the way up like this, and then they hold on to the rails. It's like you do realize you just completely negated the whole incline because now you still at a right angle. Like you leaning back, just like you just look stupid holding on and moving at a right angle. You ain't doing nothing. So if you're on a stairmaster, don't hold on to the rails on the side. Let your hands go down and walk just like you was walking up the stairs. And even if you walking up the stairs in public, that rail, that handrail is only there for balance. That's not for you to lean on and walk up the stairs. If you got good balance, that's one of the things lunges help with is overall balance. If you think about it, what is walking up a step? That's a movement pattern. It's a lunge.
Yeah.
So if you walking up the stairs or on the stairmaster, try not to put your hands either on your body or on the rails so that you can walk naturally and feel that balance.
So here's a question for you, Lloyd, since you've been the question asking so far. What are your 3 top foods you would recommend to somebody who wants to lose weight?
That okay. That's loaded.
I know. It was a setup.
I'm gonna say some sort of like if I'm like these are the only foods that I can eat.
No, like if somebody came to you and said, "Coach, I want to lose weight. What are 3 foods you would recommend I start to incorporate into my diet?"
Do they eat meat or no?
This is one of your clients.
Okay. I mean, I actually, you want to actually, I have 5 vegan clients.
Okay, dope. Dig it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do they eat meat or do they not eat meat?
Let's
If
go.
they, if
Let's go with the meat eater since it seems like we got quite a
if
bit still
they
in the audience.
if they do eat meat, then I'm going to say either a like a 93.7, some sort of lean beef or chicken. That's because you get a whole protein complex with that. You
Okay.
get a full protein. Whatever your favorite fruit and or vegetable is,
Okay.
and then something like rice, quinoa, or oats. I'm not super big on potatoes because the way that people dress it up.
Most people can't just have potatoes by themselves. I get it.
Right. Um, yes, ground turkey. I will say ground turkey. Basically bird and lean beef. But
That's
those
what.
3 right there. I
Okay.
really I don't because if I was to tell somebody chicken, rice, and green beans, what if you don't like rice? What if you don't like green
Right.
beans? What if you're allergic to green beans? What if you're allergic? You know. So your favorite vegetable that you like to eat, and if you don't like vegetable, whatever favorite food you got, and
Okay.
then try to figure out where your calorie intake is right now, and then where you need to be to make sure that you're in the calorie deficit. Sweet potato is the
Okay.
best. I have a lot of it.
It has a lot
It has a lot
of
of benefits.
benefits.
I eat it every day, baked with nothing on it.
Sweet potatoes, purple sweet potatoes, Japanese sweet potatoes, those are fantastic. So I actually would take not the exact opposite approach. I would take a different approach than you. Instead of me telling them the 3 foods that they should eat, I would say, here are the 3 foods that if you want to lose weight, you need to avoid. Period, point blank. First,
You every way you should avoid.
but you know how when no matter
Listen,
what question we ask, we
what
can
if
always
someone comes to you?
repreface it. So no, if somebody says, "Hey, coach, what food should I focus on eating?" I would say that's a great question. However, instead of focus on what you're eating, I would recondition you to focus on what not to eat.
I
You
also,
know that. So I thought that's where you want to take it when you was like, "That's kind of a trick question."
yeah.
So I thought you were going to flip it already on its head.
So normally, if when that conversation comes up, I I automatically ask people what they're eating now. I ask what they're eating now, and do they know how much that they're consuming in a day.
Right.
That's typically where I go with it. And then we start to converse from there. I figure out overall goals, weight goals. If they're trying to, well, the situation was they're trying to lose weight, where they're at their goal weight, how quick they're trying to do this. Can we do this in a sensible manner to where I'm not trying to make somebody lose 30 pounds in a month? But we're trying to figure out how to get this and make lifestyle changes versus get this weight off, and then they go back to eating like shit.
Right. Yeah. No, I completely agree. So that's why I asked it that way, because I was trying to see if you were going to answer the question or do the reframe. So that's why.
I typically would, but I was taking a question like
You were taking the
And
question
then
for what it was.
I
I
thought
see.
it
I
was
see.
like, did
But
you
you
see my
know,
face when you answered? I was like, what?
that's
Like,
a trick. That's
oh
a trick
no.
question. But I'll answer it this way anyway. I got you.
Yeah.
So if I had to answer it within the confines of the original question, I would say quinoa, lentils, and avocado.
Okay.
That way you're getting all of the healthy carbohydrates that you need, the healthy proteins, and the healthy fats. And it's going to be calorie dense enough to keep you full so that now you're eating less in general.
Yeah. Now, if you're doing, if you have someone on just those, if we're sticking to 3, how are we filling those gaps?
Oh, so no, this was just that it
Oh,
was like
I
these
know.
are foods you want to
I'm saying
so these
we're
are foods you want to incorporate more. So I would never tell anybody to eat just those 3 to lose weight. Never. Because
I'm
there's
adding on to that.
oh
There was
yeah.
so
So
that was a trick
to fill
question for
those
you.
gaps.
That was a trick question for you, my boy.
All
So
right, so to fill those gaps, that means now we have to eat salads throughout the day and smoothies. And
so
smoothies
that
in the
was
morning, salads in the midday, and now you have your quinoa, lentils, and avocado for dinner.
I was hoping, just like you was hoping, I was hoping you would say something about supplements, um, and them only being to fill the holes. That's why I
Uh,
said fill those gaps.
I got you. I see where you were going with that.
Because no, because when people start to lose weight, they get on all these supplements instead of trying to eat food.
Right.
They do all these other supplementations to try to fill gaps that don't even exist.
Or that they think that these perceived gaps that somebody told them or the industry told them that they need to have.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, we
Just eat food.
got a bunch of new faces in here. We are answering your health questions. This is not just me and Lloyd talking at each other. We keep asking each other questions because you all have not. I have not seen you in forever. Peace. Good to see. Glad to see you in here. I know it's probably the other way around because I ain't been on here. But anywho, um,
Yeah, let's get some questions in here.
so
Somebody asked
any
something.
questions? Yeah, so
We
I'm just
gon'
acknowledging one of the people who jumped in. I ain't seen him in a while.
we gonna wrap this up in 5 minutes.
All right. So yeah, if y'all know, I'm quick to say I will take 3 more questions and do a countdown, and I will like an auctioneer going once, going twice, going 3 times to the man in the back with the hat.
But people keep popping in even though it's late.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing else better to do. What time did we go? Well, at least we haven't gone as long tonight. Oh, we guess we almost have.
We've gone to midnight before. That was the
Gee,
first one.
no, actually, I didn't. I thought we didn't. Actually, after Wayne got off, I didn't realize we had gone that much. How much water per day? Great question. The science says that you should drink half your body weight in ounces. So, to make this math super simple, if you weighed 100 pounds, you need to drink 50 ounces of water. That's simple.
Now, what's your approach on that?
My approach is drink enough water to feel good and make sure that you're eating enough high water content fruits to fill the gaps.
Does water equate hydration?
No, water is for flushing the body because you have to realize that in order for the body to get hydrated, it needs to have sodium and potassium.
Queen Mary said that's a lot of water. 50 ounces?
No, it's not.
Okay, so hold on, wait, because I
Uh,
hear that all the time. Someone tried to tell me half of a gallon is a lot of water for someone to drink in a day. But if you break that down into bottles of water, that's 16.9 ounces. If you can drink 4 bottles of water in a day, that's 52 ounces at least. So
So just do about
that's drinking a bottle of water every 2 hours that you're awake if you're awake for 8 hours.
and there are very few people that are awake for only 8 hours. So, I mean, just think about it. If you woke up and you drank an 8 ounce glass of water, you're almost third of the way there, quarter of the way there. So it's really not as hard as most people think, but because people don't drink enough, they think it's hard. We had another question. Good anti-inflammatory foods. Great question. Foods that are going to be any foods that are high in fiber, high in antioxidants are going to be some of your most anti-inflammatory. Ginger, turmeric, oats, dark leafy greens, any of your berries, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, strawberries are going to be super high and anti-inflammatory.
I'll give my two favorite ones. Pineapple.
I should have known.
You know why.
The bromelain.
And the other reasons.
They do make
That has
everything
nothing.
taste better.
That has to do with men.
They
So
do make
pineapple,
everything taste better.
and cherries, specifically tart cherry, tart cherry juice.
And most people don't realize cherries are still a berry. All right, is enzyme good to take on a daily basis? I don't know what enzyme is, so I'm going to say
Maybe
I can't consider it.
I'm gonna guess until she clarifies enzyme as a supplement.
Right,
But
so I figured
but
that.
what
So,
enzyme?
but
Because
what
enzyme is
enzyme?
just
Because there are so many different type of enzymes. Now, are you if you're speaking specifically about pre and probiotics? I wouldn't do them every day. I would focus on eating foods that allow my system to balance that out on its own.
I wouldn't take the supplement every day. I would eat the whole foods that have them in them
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah. So she said supplement. Yeah. So just,
Yeah.
yeah. So I wouldn't take an enzyme supplement. I don't believe in taking any supplement every day unless you already know what you're deficient in. And even then, I would focus on getting it from a whole food source before resorting to supplementation because oftentimes the multivitamins and the pills, you don't know exactly where they source that vitamin from and whether or not how much of it is bioavailable to you. And for
The
those who don't
biggest
know about what bioavailable means, that means how much of it can actually be absorbed within the body.
right. The biggest part of food in general, even more so supplements, is how bioavailable it is. If your body's not going to absorb it, you're just taking crap. No, I'm gonna say you're taking crap, but you're wasting
No,
your time.
no, it's just not. It's so because I'll go back to the days when I was younger and I was really big on my weight gain and all that. I used to take the animal stack. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that. You know what I'm saying? That big pack of vitamins. I wasn't doing nothing but creating expensive pee.
That's it.
Expensive pee and poo.
Ex-
My
ex-
pee was
expensive
just bright.
highlighter yellow pea.
I would say it was bright yellow as all outside. It felt like I was doing something, but at the end of the day, the reason that the pee was that yellow is because the nutrients were being pissed right out of me.
It's the riboflavin. No, it really is. It's the riboflavin that turns the urine that color.
Gotcha.
It's a B
See?
vitamin. So if you take a B vitamin and you wait about an hour and you start to drink a lot of water and you start peeing, your pee is going to be highlighter yellow all the time. You don't know if you're hydrated really or not. Then you got to drink even more water
Right.
to flush all the vitamin out, and then you're like, I keep pissing every 20 minutes. Why is my piss highlighter yellow? Oh, took a multivitamin.
Yep. That part. So is the
Is the animal
animal pack vitamin good powder form? No, don't buy that. So don't. So I brought that up. I haven't done the animal packs in at least 15 years. So that is the animal stack is new. No. It is a yeah. Ignore.
Hey, yo.
Ignore. 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 Um.
Oh, Minds of
The
Men After
animal stack
Dark gets
is a
rough.
bunch of supplements that GNC used to sell. I forget what the brand was, but it's a marketing ploy to get people to make them think that they got to take all this
I
stuff to
mean,
get jacked.
it's really a lot of the retailers, really a lot of the market itself
Yeah, it's the market.
pushing you need to take a multivitamin. How do you know you need to take a multivitamin if you one don't get a panel to see what you're deficient in? What if you're taking what if you have a well balanced diet and you don't have any deficiencies? Do you need that multivitamin? Nope. But
That part.
the market is going to tell you you need to take them. It's going to tell you you need four things. It's going to tell you need four supplements. I used to work at GNC and they pushed this so hard.
Multivitamin,
Protein, multivitamin,
protein, creatine.
nope, omega, and a probiotic. It's going to say you need these four. They call them the four foundations of health. Protein, bro, I'm telling you, protein, multivitamin, omega, and a pre or probiotic. Walk into GNC tomorrow, and I guarantee you they're going to try and get you to get two or three of the four.
I ain't been in the gym
Promise.
in so long. I don't even know where to find one.
I
So
promise you.
I used to live in that joint, especially buying protein shakes. Because I used to get not just that. I used to also get the weight gainer shakes, the one that was 2,300 or 3,200 calories per shake. And I was skinny kid. I was vegan. Yeah, so need vitamin B12, omega, and iodine. Because if you're high raw vegan, you are going to be deficient in a lot of things. I would get the supplement that is in the link in my bio because it is an all plant-based supplement, and I know exactly where they're getting it from. Exactly, I was a bodybuilder in the '90s. I remember that. Yeah, that was man. That stuff was, and so that's
Bro,
crazy.
and that's and this was in 2000 and like 2008. Yeah, from like 2008 to like 2014, they preached that, and
Yeah,
that was research from the 90s, and they still preaching it. You can go into GNC. I'm telling you, you go into GNC tomorrow, and they're going to
and
push two or
they still
three of the four.
got you.
So like, if you walk in and you're like, all right, I got a protein, they're going to ask you, what are you doing for your gut health, or something along those lines, or at least one of the well trained people will. And then they're going to ask you, oh well, do you get any healthy fats in your diet? And they're like, hey, take this fish oil. And then they're going to be like, hey, here's this probiotic. They got you on all four.
Yeah, here, and then you need to buy them every single month.
Yep. And
So,
you need to take this for the rest of your life. Brother, why?
all right, we got 2 minutes. Closing thoughts.
Shit, I wasn't ready for closing thoughts just yet.
All right, so let's run it up again. Anybody else got a question while we gather our closing thoughts? A lot of avocados, nuts, and seeds. Yeah, so this is the person that's on the high raw diet. That's going to be good. So I have never tried to be high raw at any form or fashion, so I do not have much advice on the completely raw thing. That is not my boat. What is okra good for? Okra good is for a lot of things, and without me having my notes right here in front of me, I'm not going to tell you. If you put it in water, it creates a lot of viscosity. And if, for those who don't know what viscosity means, it creates a lot of lubrication for all different areas of your body. Now, as far as the health benefits, it helps, if I remember off the top of my head, it helps regulate blood sugar, helps to lower blood pressure also. And it's a ton of nutrients. But I don't have my notes here in front of me, and that's not one that I study. Are
Or
feet and Evian good water to drink? Yeah, because they're both spring water. Yes, because they're both spring water. They're expensive ass spring water.
so
So I was gonna say while you think about your closing thoughts, I was gonna kind of think about mine. Because now that we've come to the end of the day, and I know that y'all can't gang up on me now. It's um mental health is definitely a big thing. Just left Japan. Vegemite. What do you think? Hold on. I'm traveling Australia and Japan. I'm around Vegemite. I've heard that term before, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. So I'd have to look it up, Miller,
I
to
don't know
tell
what
you.
it is. I'm not gonna say
Um,
I do.
yeah, I've heard the term before, but not enough time for me to be
And I done closed my laptop.
completely up on it.
Um, did you give your closing thoughts?
I did not. I was about to start. So Vegemite is a thick, dark brown, salty, and savory Australian paste that's made from leftover brewer's yeast extract, vegetable flavoring, malt extract, and vitamin B.
I have no
Ooh.
idea what that is, so
So,
I'm
but
not
no,
even gonna touch that.
but just basically reading off of it, I don't think I would be a big fan
Hey,
of it
yo, what the fuck?
just because it said leftover brewer's yeast extract, and I don't want nothing leftover. And then malt extract. So both of those are ways to make alcohol. So yeah, I don't think I'd be eating that much. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's looks like it'd be a nice spread because it says it has a umami flavor. But yeah, I don't think that'd be okay. Similar to miso, which is pretty. Yeah, so it's not a bad thing. I just probably wouldn't consume it in high amounts. Now, my closing thought would be,
Hold on, before you do that, Rob, what's going on in the chat, brother?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
What
I,
is
I don't.
happening?
I don't know. Yeah, Australia likes to drink a lot of beer. They do. They love their beer down there for
Yeah, they
sure.
do.
Um, it's okay to be wherever you are in your feelings, feeling whatever it is you're feeling at whatever moment, and hopefully it doesn't last longer than it needs to. That'll be my closing thought. What's going on, Sabrina? What are you doing up this late?
Boy, you got them on here, don't you?
Nah, I don't know what you're talking about, chap.
All right. Closing thoughts. I mean, it goes along. I honestly was gonna say something along the lines of what you were saying, just being present in the moment, just really focusing on being present, whether it's being present for you, being present for the people in your circle and around you, just really just being present. That's all I got.
So there you go. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling without associating any kind of blame or to it, and be as present as you can be for right now. You're very welcome, Quebec Beauty. Glad that we were able to help you. All right, Supreme. Everybody that has been in here and has joined us, we appreciate your presence. We appreciate your questions. We appreciate your feedback. Moving forward, this is how things are going to run, and we probably need to do this at the top, in the middle, and again at the end, just so everybody
Probably,
knows.
we probably should have started it off like that.
Yeah, that's all right. Moving forward, you can submit your questions ahead of time to ensure that you get it answered on the live, and it gives us time to do a little bit more research to give you the most in-depth answer. You can shoot your questions to me, Black Vegan Man, or over there to Coach Lloyd. What we're going to do is we're going to compile those questions, and you need to have the question in by Sunday night. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that list together. We're going to pick the best questions, and if we get a bunch of the same type of questions, we'll kind of squish them together so that we can get the context and get that out to you. We want to make this interactive. And if that person is on the live when we are actually going through with it, they're going to be able to join in. So you
Just
you asked the question right there, Sabrina, that I was
right at
getting
the
ready to
right
bring up.
time.
what we're going to do, and that's how we're going to control who is able to join the live, because we don't want a bunch of randoms because of the scammers and all that. If you ask your question ahead of time, that's how you're going to be able to come on the live to actually have FaceTime and get your question answered in time, so that if there is any clarifying questions that we need to ask, we have you right there where we can ask you.
And that's also why it needs to be in by Sunday, so that on Monday we can pick the person. We'll let that person know, hey,
Yeah,
we're going to
we'll
answer your
send them.
question.
We'll
Do
send them.
you feel comfortable being on live
There
with
we
us?
go. Yep, all of that. And yeah, we know you're a scammer, Sabrina. You make people think that you're not cool when you really are.
Yo, you can. I mean, it's time to go. It's time. I see you. I'm not. Oh wait, I'm excited to meet you. You going to Columbus? You from Columbus?
No, I got a speaking event in Columbus in May. I'm one of the keynote speakers.
Yeah, he used the sun to get away.
Yeah, he ducked out on us early.
You know I'm from Cincy, right?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought you was from down here.
No, I'm from Cincy.
All right, that's what's up. So yeah, man. So like, I actually wanted to go to that. I mean, go up that way, because I've actually never been to Cincinnati in my lifetime.
We can make that happen.
Bet that. So the trip is it's May 23rd. It's
We can make that happen.
No, I figured that the talk is on a Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, Robert. Again, good to see you. I'm glad you're feeling better, and it's nice. Yeah. So I mean, I'll be 100. If it wasn't for the commitment of being on here with Lloyd and Wayne, I would not have been here today. The way I've been feeling these last 2 days, wouldn't have been here. However, it's because, like, the same way that I got out and did my running group on Sunday. If it wouldn't have been for that, I probably wouldn't have left the house this week. So it's these type of settings that are helping draw me back, because my day job, I fucking sucked at it for the last 2 days because of how I've been feeling. But I get on here because I'm chatting with y'all and I'm doing what's in my purpose. It's easier to break out of that feeling. But I'm pretty sure as soon as we get off of here, I'm gonna revert back to feeling how I was feeling.
Nah, we're just gonna go to sleep. We're gonna thug it out.
Let's hope. All right,
We're gonna thug it out.
so that's it for the evening. We wrapped it all up. We appreciate your presence. Appreciate every piece of y'all. Appreciate the positive energy, all of that good stuff. Until next week, we will be here at the same bat time, the same bat channel.
Yeah. Every Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I know I just aged myself, but those who know.
Oh. Peace.